pretty uptight. It was the summer of '67. "Light My Fire" was the big song back then, and I didn't go to the bathroom for 8 days.
Well, because you get nervous.
I was totally nervous about it. I was hazed by some of the older. But then
we call that bullying now.
No, see, because now, but I got over it.
Yeah.
But I never went back to camp. I didn't go away to college. I'm very much a homebody, and it's pretty bad.
Well, so you didn't unpack because psychologically you didn't want to be there.
Or I'm
just trying to break this down.
I mean, I tend to wear, if you notice, I tend to wear the same clothes every day now.
Yes.
So I haven't really changed.
Are you wearing the same thing that you wore yesterday?
Yes. You don't notice that. Girlfriend, you didn't notice that I'm wearing the same green sweatshirt I wore yesterday. Now, Sean, last week, would ridicule me for wearing the same outfit every day. So he noticed. But
do you wash your clothes?
Occasionally. Yeah. I don't sweat much. I don't have sweat
well,
glands.
You think that you don't smell.
I don't. I've never had any. Of course, people wouldn't necessarily say anything. They probably just put clothespins on their nose. But I don't think I sweat much.
No.
So,
okay.
I don't have sweat glands, hair on my chest.
You don't?
Yeah. There's not much to me.
Well, we have a big show today.
Yes,
and the reason why I say that is because when the cat's away, the mouse will play.
Tell me about it.
And loaded with liberals. I'm Tom Brokaw. We're loaded with liberal lions. The Reverend Jesse Jackson is on.
Reverend Jesse Jackson will be here at 7:07. Why? Well, because he's a private citizen diplomat.
Is it okay that I ask him that he's violating the Logan Act?
Well, listen. You can ask him whatever you want.
No, I can't. I want you to invite me back.
I think it's still premature to give the Nobel Peace Prize to President Trump because Reverend Jackson is efforting those 3 Americans who are in. He's efforting the release of those 3 Americans who are in North Korea. So he will be traveling to North Korea. He's been there before. He has some advice for President Trump.
Isn't he usurping Dennis Rodman's province? Right
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, when we'll go over the past, he's released several Americans who's been held hostage in Syria, in Cuba, in Kosovo. I mean, the list goes on and on. And also, at 6:36, Maria Pappas.
I love when she almost had that perfect game against the San Diego Padres on September the 2nd, 1972. I don't know how Bruce Fremming called that ball for.
Well, the reason we're having her on is
because Dan isn't here.
No, it's because
that's
you have to pay up your property taxes by this Friday. If not, they can be auctioned off.
Right. Old people are going to have their properties auctioned off because they don't pay their property taxes. Let me ask you this.
Well, we're giving them fair warning. They're scrambling to find 37,000 people right now.
I want to be invited back again by you because I like being part of this Bob Carroll, Ted and Ellis quartet that we have here. So can I ask her, well, why should they pay their property taxes? I mean, their houses, the values of their houses are being eaten up by property taxes. And if you'd like, I can read you a list of property taxes for the entire area that I got from the North Cook News. Yes.
And who owns the North Cook News? Just say it.
Illinois Policy Institute? I don't know. one of Dan Proft's shell organizations.
Exactly. Go to Twitter and go to Dan Proft's tweet or our tweet. Amy Jacobson or Bruce Wolf.
Just to tease, there are conservatives on the show today.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what?
Zelena
I'm
Zito.
sorry. We're out of time.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up, Ashley Judd goes after Harvey Weinstein, and I like it. But
nice
first,
Judds.
Here's your forecast.
Zelena Zito is on at 7:37. She's conservative, and Noah Rothman is a neocon. Can't wait to talk to him. He's a conservative intellectual. Today, windy and very warm with sun and some clouds, a high of 84. A high of 84? Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy and warm, and late night shower in spots. Low of 64. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and becoming windier with a shower or thunderstorm. A high of 78. I actually didn't wear a winter coat today. I wore a winter coat like the last 7 days here. It was unbelievable. Now it's time for a check of traffic with Jim Telemonte.
Well, good morning, Bruce. Good morning, Amy. Downtown Chicago, westbound Congress remains closed. Columbus to Michigan Avenue after an overnight chase and crash in that area. Yeah, still see that going on there. A lot of police in the area on our jam cam. Fisher Ford Freeway inbound, it's heavy 130th to 115th and Cottage Grove to the merge. 18 minutes, 80-94 to the Rhine. Outbound fine at 15. On Ryan now, you've got a little bit of congestion. Roosevelt into the circle. The other expressways and tollways are good. Starting at 7 this morning in Round Lake. Northbound Cedar Lake Road closes 120 to Nippersink until July 31st for some widening and reconstruction. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
As a parent, you want what's best for your children. That means sending them to a school where they'll get the superior education they deserve, and that also shares your values. That can be tricky these days, as public schools have changed and private schools can be expensive. Your household budget has already been cut to the bone, and it's hard to imagine where you'll find that extra money. Well, there's help to lessen that financial burden and provide your child with the very best education at half the cost. At AM 560 The Answer, we work with private schools throughout the Chicagoland area to provide tuition for families at half the normal cost. Just log on to halfpriceschools.com and you'll find some of Chicagoland's finest private schools, from preschool all the way through high school, at half the cost. And chances are there's a school right in your neighborhood. Invest in your child's education and future at halfpriceschools.com. A limited number of half-price vouchers are available. Go to halfpriceschools.com now.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with 0 or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with the C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Hey, we know replacing your roof is a big deal and a big decision. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson, the boys from Crumweedy. If your roof is needy,
Call Crumweedy.
We would love to do your roof. Why choose Crumweedy to do your roof or roof repairs?
it's all about installation. Our guys are pros. When we install your roof, you'll get the Crumweedy promise of installation that's up to manufacturer specifications. So your warranty is intact. You'll be happy.
Cost. We give you a good, better, best option. You choose. No high pressure.
We're here. We're a third-generation family business that was built on the same conservative values as you.
We do business the right way. We have a special offer that includes free gutters with a new roof. Ask about it. When your roof is needy,
Call Crumweedy.
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
Get all the info at myroofisneedy.com. myroofisneedy.com.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with the 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, you're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855-471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now, it's time to put your money to work for you.
AM 560, The Answer.
A lot of breaking news today, and at the top of the 6, we'll talk about...
I'm 2 for 2. I know all the songs.
Well, no,
so
while
far.
you were sleeping, the New York Times somehow got a hold of Mueller's questions that he wants to ask President Trump. There's 4 dozen of them. We'll go through them, see whether or not President Trump should answer them.
Are you now or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?
Pound sand.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll do a reenactment at 6:06. But also some breaking news. Guess who filed a lawsuit against Harvey Weinstein?
Matt Damon for damaging his reputation by being associated with Harvey Weinstein?
No, Ashley Judd.
Oh.
It was a 28-page complaint filed in California yesterday. And basically, it's because he sexually harassed her and he made advances toward her.
And killed her career.
Killed her career, yeah. Defamation and retaliation scheme that prevented her from appearing in the blockbuster movie franchise Lord of the Rings. I did not.
Yeah. Oh, because Harvey Weinstein was
yes.
Harvey Weinstein. I thought Peter Jackson was the.
He was involved in
but
it.
Harvey
and he
runs everything.
Yeah,
He's God, according to Meryl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he blocked her out of that. So.
How about Mira Sorvino? She should join the case. As a matter of fact, it should be a class action against Harvey Weinstein. Every Hollywood actress should sue Harvey Weinstein.
This is part of the complaint. Yeah. Wearing only a bathrobe. The
Harvey
suit
Weinstein?
says the powerful Hollywood producer asked her for a massage and begged him to watch him shower. When Judd refused, Weinstein, whose production company controlled the rights to Lord of the Rings movies, told the film's director that Judd was, quote, a nightmare to work with and to avoid her at all costs.
Did Harvey Weinstein bequeath his bathrobe to Charlie Rose? I mean, is this like this one bathrobe that goes through?
What's up with all of you guys just showing your junk? Nobody wants to see that.
I don't even want to see my own, so that's the problem. I mean, I never look in a mirror. It's very embarrassing.
I don't know what's down there.
Yeah, sure.
It's south of my Mason-Dixon line,
That's right.
so I'm not going there.
No. I don't understand. It's a world that I am not familiar with.
Well, the director, Peter Jackson, had been considering Judd for a role in the franchise, and the suit says. So Jackson
she could have been
relayed
Frodo.
the conversation with Weinstein to a media outlet, and she found out about it, filed the lawsuit. So, you know what? You're an attorney. Do you think she has? Does she have a chance?
I would have liked Ashley Judd as Gollum. With that honeyed Southern accent, that would have been my precious, I love my precious. Yeah, I think she would have been great in it. Yeah, she's got a case there. Yeah, sue him for billions.
And then what's happening with Megyn Kelly?
Megyn Kelly warned her NBC colleagues. By the way, Megyn Kelly's a total bust. Which I
wasn't
predicted.
like $69 million bust?
$69 million bust.
Did you and Sean talk about that last week?
We did a little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, she's a bust because what made her, of course, was being at Fox News, being on conservative TV. And even though Roger Ailes harassed her, okay, let's say that's worth $20 million. Okay, she made like $100 million. So she should. So it's like $80 million to the good for her if you want to make it.
So another network offered her more money, and she took it.
So no, here, of course, and she just wanted to become a housewife. She wanted to become a housewife anyway, and this is her glide path.
Where did you hear that she wanted?
She said it. She was a bad mom. She admitted she's a bad mom. She wasn't around. You can't do that 7:00 show every night. You got to work 12 hours a day. This one, you walk in there. I mean, heck, if Tamron Hall could do that hour, she could do it. So, I mean,
all right.
That's
So what did
unnecessary cut? Tamron Hall could have been the host of the Today Show. She didn't know that Matt Lauer was going to do the thing that he did. Anyway, no, Megyn Kelly said if you're a defender of Tom Brokaw, who are the two people are Andrea Mitchell and Rachel Maddow are defenders of Tom Brokaw. You can be skeptical of the accusers, but Brokaw isn't necessarily innocent because Megyn Kelly knows what it's like to be harassed. She was, and you don't necessarily tell anyone. And Brokaw's got the reputation, but if a couple more people come out of the woodwork against Brokaw, it's going to be a Cosby-like situation for him.
Well,
I mean, not as bad. He didn't rape anybody. He just was.
Did you say pudding pops?
Yes, I did. Pudding pops.
No, but it's only two people that have accused Tom Brokaw.
Only
right?
two. How many do you need?
Well,
and
how many years ago was this?
Oh, okay. So people don't. Do you believe Roy Moore's accusers? By the way, he filed a lawsuit against his accusers yesterday.
Really?
They had sued
ones?
them too. I think the three that had accused him. So, but why didn't he file a lawsuit in the first place? When he was running, he could have gotten immediate discovery, found out where that ink came from, but he didn't want to find out because he knew that he had signed it.
Yeah.
Did you say pudding pops? Pudding pops.
Now you will get ready for the zim zam and the babbity bibbity, and you will take off your clothes like voo and boom, and get ready for the most splendiferous pudding pop you have ever seen.
Never gets old.
It doesn't.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, are women more emotional than men? According to John Kelly, they are.
Yes, they are.
First, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
57 degrees. We have clear skies. Winds from the south at 10 at the moment, but gusting. And be careful with the matches and the grill this afternoon and evening, as the National Weather Service has posted a red flag warning for an increased fire danger from central Illinois all the way up to the Chicago suburbs. Several are feared dead this morning after a high-rise building in Brazil collapsed in flames. One person confirmed dead for sure at the tower in Sao Paulo this morning, where 200 firefighters continue to battle that blaze. The 26-story tower had been occupied by squatters. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on the same page, he says, as Israel when it comes to Iran's past nuclear ambitions. Pompeo said documents released by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu prove Iran had a secret nuclear weapons program for years and lied about it.
Iran planned at the highest levels to continue work related to nuclear weapons under different guises and using the same personnel.
Netanyahu says Iran had obtained all the elements of a nuclear weapons program. Possible sites for President Trump's planned summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un are still being looked at.
We're looking at various countries, including Singapore, and we are also talking about the possibility of the DMZ.
The president at the White House yesterday. Meantime, the White House is extending the steel and aluminum tariff exemption deadline for the European Union and other allies. The White House says the May 1st deadline is being extended for 30 days to allow further discussions. Meantime, agreements have been reached in principle for Argentina, Australia, and Brazil. The Department of Justice is charging nearly a dozen members of a migrant caravan with entering the U.S. illegally. Prosecutors filed complaints against Central American migrants who are seeking asylum. Republican Senator from Florida, Marco Rubio, says that tax cut the GOP passed late last year right now isn't doing anything for American workers, telling The Economist magazine there's no evidence whatsoever right now the law significantly helped the American worker. Two are in custody following a hit-and-run crash involving a police car near UIC. It happened early this morning near Halstead and Roosevelt Road. A woman is in serious condition after being viciously attacked by dogs on Chicago's South Side. Both dogs were eventually taken by animal control. An investigation is underway after a group of Tinley Park High School students who attended prom last week at Chicago's Shedd Aquarium fell ill. Cubs over the Rockies 3-2. White Sox open a two-game set against the Cardinals at Busch tonight. The news service of Discover Student Loans. Figuring out how to cover college costs. Discover Student Loans, one of the top private student loan lenders in the country with great rates, zero fees. Plus, students can earn a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply. 5:33, we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher loves the hypocrisy of the left.
This bastion of progressivism, Starbucks, where people who sit around for hours upon hours. You're going to tell me two black guys can't sit at a table without being bothered? And I love every bit of the consequences that pretentious, overpriced place is now having to pay.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Todd, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Maybe I should switch to Liberty Mutual.
Visit us online to... Hey, stop echoing.
Sorry.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
It's not easy being a mom, but Mike Chrysler Pacifica makes soccer practice a little more fun. I can binge all my shows with the available Uconnect Theater, open the Stow and Go seating to grab my hidden romance novel, or just jam out to the radio.
song.
Huh? What song? I didn't hear a song.
Chrysler Pacifica. It's loaded with attitude. Chrysler is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
It's 5:35. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Downtown Chicago, Congress remains closed westbound from Columbus to Congress Plaza near Michigan. This after the police chase and crash ended up at that intersection. Edens and the Kennedy look fine right now. Inbound Eisenhower, a little heavy, 17th Avenue to Des Plaines Avenue. 31 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound fine at 29. Down Stevenson, delay start at Lamont Road. It's already 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 22 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Traffic Service of Napa this month at participating Napa Auto Care Centers or Napa Auto Parts stores. Get a $50 Visa prepaid card by mail. You spend $250 on Napa brakes. Quality parts, helpful people. It's Napa Know-How. Some exclusions apply. Offer expires 5/31/18. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Windy, warm, sun and clouds. That red flag warning is up, so watch out for the fire danger. High of 84 today. Currently, 63 at O'Hare, 62 along Chicago's lakefront. Our next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Bruce Wolf and Amy Jacobson continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Thank you, Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's get rid of this deal with Iran. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
This, I can harmonize ragdoll to this.
Ready?
Not at this point. Every move you take. Sting. They're Sting.
Every move you make.
Every vow you take. Every
I'll be watching Bruce.
you.
You can change the words, huh?
Oh,
Bruce Wolf, by the way.
Top
We
of the
never
morning.
introduced you.
You don't have to. Everybody knows who I am.
I can't even see your face because the mic flag is. Why are you hiding from me?
I'm crying. I'm shy. I'm incredibly shy.
You're shy.
I am.
Well, this.
To be in your presence.
Oh, exactly. Well, we have a few things to get to. You want to start with prom, or
Sure.
or are women more emotional men?
It's
You
the same
decide.
story.
Oh.
Prom and women being emotional at prom. I
Excuse
mean,
me.
look at Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She never got to go to the prom, according to Michelle Wolf.
Yeah.
I mean, she was ripping Sarah Huckabee Sanders over
it
her
was
physical appearance.
Awful. All right, well, let's stick with Washington, D.C., because
Okay.
yesterday NBC News had an exclusive. They have learned exclusively, excuse me, that 4 officials in the White House have heard John Kelly call President Trump an idiot behind his back.
Like, who hasn't?
Well, they said
Rex
in-
Tillerson did that, right?
Well, Rex Tillerson called him a moron, allegedly.
You're right. There's a
And Rex
difference.
Tillerson is gone now. So in one of the cases where he called him an idiot was on his failed immigration bill that he rolled out on January 9th. Remember this? That it was a bill of love.
Because this should be a bipartisan bill. This should be a bill of love. Truly, it should be a bill of love.
And that's one of the instances where John Kelly allegedly called President Trump an idiot. Then when it came to Rob Porter, he was a big supporter of Porter, and he wanted him to stay. And this is a insider in the White House.
At the time of the controversy, Kelly wondered aloud how much more Porter would have to endure before he could have his honor restored, which really surprised many female White House staffers.
Because he allegedly abused his wife, one of his wives.
So John Kelly also not only insults Trump, he's also a sexist, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Thank you for summing that up so beautifully. But the worst part for us ladies out there is he apparently told staffers that women on his staff are much more emotional than men. And
on his staff.
Yeah, and
Well,
in the
maybe
White House altogether. He thought, let's have a man do it because women, they're too emotional.
Well, maybe the ones that
They
they
can't handle
surround
it.
themselves with because they're such macho guys.
Yeah, but are women
emotional? No, but other women. I mean, I don't consider like Hillary Clinton an emotional woman. Well, on the other end, I do. I think she's an hysteric. Yeah. So I'll admit that.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA.
Doesn't
then a
it
quick comment.
matter what time of the month we're talking about? Or hey,
Wow.
delete the tweet.
Wow.
Delete that tweet, please. Okay. Sorry.
Not appropriate. Well, I know
So-
one thing. If I, as a woman,
That was a Michelle
when I'm
Wolf
talking
joke.
to a man,
Yes.
as opposed to a female, I will definitely keep my emotions more in check when I'm discussing things with a man. Oh, definitely.
Well,
Matter of fact.
How does that manifest
Get
itself?
it done. Because men don't want to hear and look at women crying. They don't need to see that. They don't care. If you're going to a man who's a superior or maybe a principal at a school, you keep it, this is what I see as the problem. This is my solution to it. You
Right.
don't let emotions get in the way because you will lose your argument every time.
So there are differences between men and women, are you saying?
Yes.
There are differences.
Not just south of the Mason-Dixon line.
So men and women are different. Is it possible that women are more emotional than men? Is that a possibility? Is that one of the differences?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So you believe women are more? You agree with John
I
Kelly?
agree. Excuse me, I have something in my throat. I agree 100% with John.
Right now, is that it?
I let it.
No, but I seriously. If there are differences, do women tend to be now? Of course, on the spectrum, it's a bell curve or something like that. Not all women are the same. I mean,
Well, is your wife emotional, or are you more emotional
I'm
than
going
your
to
wife?
recuse myself from that
No.
discussion because I'd like to be able to come home today.
Who's more emotional, you or your wife?
I'm probably the wall.
I mean, do you cry when you see commercials, or does your wife cry?
I cried after every song on The Sound of Music when it was shown last year on ABC.
Oh, the live
Every
version?
song. No, not the live version, the movie, because it reminded me of seeing the movie.
You know
when
what? And you and I
originally saw it.
worked the following day together.
I think
and
I was,
right,
yes.
because I was trying to go to sleep and I got sucked in, and
Yeah.
I just.
Yeah, I
it's
cried
such a
during
beautiful
every song,
film.
so I'm very nostalgic now.
Yeah.
I'm very weepy.
Well, when did that?
as I-
When you got in your 60s, or?
Oh, thanks for giving it away. A man doesn't tell his age.
Well, you look
Yeah,
like
so-
you're 40.
Oh, that's very nice of
Do you Botox?
Do not.
Hmm.
Do not.
Are those real?
Those wrinkles on my neck are absolutely real. So there are differences. Yeah, but the spectrum, I mean, men have emotions too, but they try to keep them in check because there's a job to be done.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's how I see it. President Trump and John Kelly have both come forward claiming this is fake news. President Trump tweeting, "The fake news is going crazy, making up false stories and using only unnamed sources who don't exist. They are totally unhinged, and the great success of this administration is making them do and say things that even they can't believe they are saying. Truly bad people!" Exclamation
Let me
point.
say this about Trump. He may be an idiot, but he's not a fool because he surrounds himself with some very good people. And look what's happening right now in the world. You have a John Bolton on your side. You can tell Kim Jong-un, hey, I'm telling you, this guy wants to bomb you back to the Stone Age. I got to keep him back from Iran right now, going after their nuclear facilities that are hidden. So you better cut a deal. So he surrounds himself with the right kind of people. So yeah, maybe he's humble enough to realize that he is an idiot. Okay,
That's what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Well, how long do you think John Kelly will be around?
There is a lot of turnover. In
A
the
lot of
Trump
turnover. I
administration.
can't keep it straight.
Okay.
I called Rex Tillerson the other day, Secretary of State. He's like, no, wait.
that's
It's
okay.
Mike Pompeo.
No, so I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. They're fungible. Just bring in the next one.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Coming up, 90 reasons why you might want to avoid prom. But first, here's your forecast.
Today, windy and very warm with sun and some clouds, high of 84. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy and warm, a late-night shower and spots, a low of 64. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and becoming windier with a shower or thunderstorm, high 78. Low tomorrow night, 65. I'll check traffic with Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Bruce and Amy. Good morning. Downtown Chicago, westbound Congress is closed. Columbus to Congress Plaza near Michigan after an overnight police chase and then crash. Congress in Michigan. West side eastbound Harrison is closed. St. Louis Ave, Pullman after a rollover crashed in that area. Cadence is fine, Kennedy 2. And Mount Eisenhower, heavy 17th to Des Plaines Avenue. A 2-minute delay there. Mount Stevenson delays start at Lamont Road. It's already 42 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. Station 4, 22 minutes, 8094 to the merge. No problems to report right now on the tollways or northwest Indiana. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, you know I love MyPillow, but here's the answer for the rest of your body. It's the MyPillow mattress topper. Oh, yes, it's here. And it keeps your entire body comfy and cozy with 3 unique layers of comfort that evenly support your body height and your weight. It helps relieve pressure points and keeps your body temperature regulated all night long. Not too cold or hot. For May, now it's May 1st, get 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Plus, get this, 2 free standard MyPillows with your mattress topper purchase. You heard it right. 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off a mattress topper. You get the same 10-year warranty on your mattress topper and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Go online or call now and grab this great deal and others, including 30% off pet beds. I have one of those for Bunky. They sell sheets and so much more. Go to MyPillow.com, MyPillow.com, type Amy in that promo code.
I've been suffering from depression for about 45 years. I've probably been on 5 to 6 different antidepressants. And even when they did work, and there was that underlying feeling of depression, and it would never go away. Just call one of the treatment centers and just talk to the psychiatrist or doctor, and you'll be on your way. I'm Christy. I'm a wife and a mother and a real estate broker, and I no longer suffer from depression.
HPR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee offer TMS therapy. In just a few weeks, you can change your life, and it's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare. You can make real progress in the battle with depression, cure or remission. Get a free consultation. 800-604-0208. 800-604-0208. HPR centers. Go to endmydepression.com. End your depression.
A glass of wine on the patio at day's end. Laughter from your teens and their friends gathered around the crackling fire of your new fire pit. This is the private oasis that AM Woodland Outdoor Design can create for you. Your outdoor space should be a reflection of your family's personality and a true extension of your home, not just a place to set your grill and furniture. A well-designed and constructed outdoor space can add significant value to your home and bring endless days of enjoyment. Spend more time together as a family, entertain friends, or just have a personal sanctuary to relax and de-stress. The expert team at AM Woodland Outdoor Design will guide you through every step of the process. They provide quality service with the utmost integrity and reliability every time.
AM Woodland Outdoor Design, proudly serving Lake, Cook, and Kenosha counties, helping make the communities they grew up in as beautiful as they can be. Visit amwoodland.com. That's amwoodland.com, or call 847-224-2167.
Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at thehomeloanexpert.com. Ryan, I know serving those who serve our country is really important to you. You're always looking for ways to help our troops. Tell our listeners about your new program, Hero Loan for Military Families.
This is one that we're really proud of. And we've done VA loans since the beginning of time. And the problem is when you're waiting on the VA, and I'm not trash talking them or anything along those lines, but you are just what I said, you're waiting. And I think the average turn time to get a VA loan closed with most lenders is 60 to 90 days. And we thought that was ridiculous. So 2 years ago, I started the application with the VA, and I just received the highest delegation that they can bestow on a lender, meaning I can now process, underwrite, close, and fund all VA loans in-house. What does that mean for the veterans and the service members and their families? I close VA loans in 14 days, and I even pay for the appraisal. If you're looking for a VA loan, apply online today at hero.loan. That's hero.loan, the only way to VA. The Home Loan Expert LLC.
AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, yeah. Slow dance now at the prom nights at Andrews High School. These lucky little ankle biters got to have their prom at the Shed Aquarium. We had ours at the Ramada Inn in Des Plaines.
The Shed Aquarium.
Shed Aquarium, that's so nice. That's where people have weddings.
I mean, yeah.
I I got you, boutonniere.
I know that.
Where's my nosegay?
Yeah.
For my blue dress. Reason why we're talking about prom. Well, it is prom season, obviously.
Sure.
It
How
is
much
May.
is a tux nowadays to rent? When I went to prom, it was $25.
I don't know. 20.
$200 for a tux.
bucks. To rent a
To
tuxedo?
rent a tux.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
I just wore the same blue prom dress to every prom.
How many proms did you go to?
I was supposed to go to 8, but I ended up going to just 7.
7? Why would you go to 7 proms? How many high schools did you belong to?
BG, Fremd. Well, I went to Hersey all 4 years.
Well, did you have
Their
like
prom.
boyfriends
Wheeling.
at different
No,
points?
I was people's friends, and they needed a date, so they said, let's ask Jacobson to go. And I went.
So, in other words,
And
you
I'm
were like
talking about myself in
you
the
were
third
like-
person, which
you were
scares
like
me.
a pretty girl for hire.
Sure. What? Bruce.
I mean, not for
Hire.
not
Gosh.
an escort.
Thank you.
But I know this pretty girl, and I can bring her to the prom, and she could be my date. Yeah. Okay.
I was taller than everyone.
I was just
going to
say, where you're like 8 inches
That's
taller
all right.
than every guy.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
okay.
So at the Shed Aquarium, where
Yeah,
the
really.
fancy people went with their fancy prom, they got sick. 90 students were ill, and here were their symptoms.
Real achy in your arms, your legs, the whole body. Kind of feel like you're getting run over by a truck if it's really bad.
So it was the norovirus. That's what they're thinking because
I
they
got a
catered
theory.
food in
I
to the Shed Aquarium, and people got sick.
If they're at the prom and everyone's kind of sharing food and dancing and together, it's not that unusual. This is the one that we get on cruise ships. It's when people are in a small area and they're all connected and people are eating together.
See, my theory
Gross.
was that it was like airplane, and they all ate the fish in the Shed Aquarium. Are there any precious fish that were missing from the Shed Aquarium?
No.
Hey, what happened to?
Casey Johnson? She's a senior. She's in pain.
There was like 25 people, and half of the people in my prom group are sick. And I had chills, everything. I had everything. I was so dizzy. It was bad.
So that means that they got sick and they weren't able to go afterwards to
the post-prom.
Mr. Kelly's to see Kreskin. Yeah, they weren't
No,
able
I think
to
they
go
had their
see
post
that.
prom in Lake Geneva. I don't know.
Of
Anyway,
course.
Of course.
Oh my
We're going to the
goodness.
Shed.
What school is this? that
It's
went to Shed?
it's a really everybody who goes to school here is gorgeous. Victor J. Andrew High School. We just called it Andrews High School
Where
in
is
Tinley Park.
Oh,
So you have Carl Sandburg, hottest chicks in the world. Andrews, just as hot. And then you have Hersey Girl.
You were a Hersey girl.
Yeah, we're hot in our own way. Sure. A little more gritty. Here's Marcy.
Are these mean girls as well?
No, I don't. Yeah, I have no idea.
He's still very sick today. He has not gotten out of his room today.
That's Marcy, whose son Jack is sick.
Well, it's
Wait,
not-
I'm not. It's not funny.
It's not funny,
but
because
it's
people
just
got sick at
weird
their
that
proms. Yeah.
So the Cook County Health Department's investigating, and for people who've
Can
never
they shut
gone-
down the Shed Aquarium?
They're not going to do that. No, they've cleaned the public spaces. They cleaned the area where the kiddies were dancing and eating food.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
We live in exciting times. The rapid evolution of technology in industrial robotic automation systems offers a multitude of solutions designed to give manufacturers a competitive advantage. From ergonomics, quality control, and the need to meet increased production goals while improving the lives of everybody on the factory floor, industrial robotic automation can mean increased profitability and higher quality jobs. Matrix Industrial Automation has built a reputation as an industry leader in developing, building, and installing a wide range of turnkey robotic automation systems. Manufacturers big and small, local and worldwide, depend on Matrix to deliver the most optimal and robust industrial automation systems with improved ROI in mind. Nearly 2 decades of experience and hundreds of installed systems is why Matrix Industrial Automation, headquartered in Bartlett, Illinois, are the industrial automation experts. For information or to schedule a free automation consultation, visit matrixindustrialautomation.com or call 847-841-8260. That's matrixindustrialautomation.com.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Warmer temps are here, spring is in the air, and spring cleaning is too. Elgin Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal, copper, aluminum, brass, and steel. Time to clean out the garage, basement, and junk drawers. Clear it out now and get cash. Contact Elgin Recycling. They've got 4 drop-off locations with truck scales, convenient to I-90, contractors. Ask about on-site weigh and pay services. Get cash now for your scrap metal. Contact Elgin Recycling today at 847-741-4100 or online at elginrecycling.com. Televisions and computers have come a long way this past decade, which leaves behind thousands of old TVs, monitors, electronics, and more. Elgin Recycling does electronic recycling too. They've got services that include TV recycling, collection events, digital data destruction, IT asset management, and more. Contact Elgin Recycling today at 847-741-4100 or online at elginrecycling.com. elginrecycling.com.
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up, and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh! My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com. The omega-3 fatty acids, flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished.
Dinovite is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
5:57 in Chicago. Let's get an update on the early morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Eastbound Jane Addams Tollway I-90 traffic stop and go for the Tri-State out of Kennedy. Those delays continue to around Canfield. 22 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound fine at 20. Eden's good for now. Eisenhower inbound delays, Wolf to Harlem and Kedzie to the Circle. 38 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 30. Inbound Stevenson, 50 minutes already, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 17 minutes, I-80 to Merge Bishop, 435. They start at 111th. Traffic service of Napa this month, participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Mobil One full synthetic motor oil is on sale for $5.99 a quart. It's Napa know-how. General states prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer expires 5/31/18. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560. The Answer.
At 5:58, it's time for a dry basement and a healthy home. Time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. Chicago's Morning Answer continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with our meteorologist, Alex Robb.
Windy and very warm today with sun and some clouds and a high of 81. Tonight's breezy and warm with increasing amounts of clouds and a passing late-night shower and a low of 64. Tomorrow's mostly cloudy and increasingly windy with a shower thunderstorm around high 78. I'm Alex Rabb on AM 560, The Answer.
61 at O'Hare, 60 along the lakefront. The news service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 5:59, let's get an update on the stories we're following on AM 560, The Answer. Be careful with matches in the afternoon grill. National Weather Service posting a red flag warning for increased fire danger for everyone from central Illinois to the Chicago suburbs. 2 are in custody following a hit-and-run crash involving a police car near UIC. A woman in serious condition after being viciously attacked by 2 dogs on Chicago's South Side. An investigation is underway after a group of Tinley Park High School students who attended prom last week at Chicago's Shedd Aquarium fell ill. Cubs hold on to clip the Rockies 3-2. White Sox open up a 2-game set against the Cardinals at Busch Stadium tonight. 61 degrees. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
Israel not backing down on Iran. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
This regime
had a secret nuclear weapons program, and they're trying, under a very bad deal, to get a nuclear arsenal. They shouldn't get it.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says they uncovered thousands of pages of secret documents showing Iran tried to cover up a weapons program before the nuclear deal, and he just told Fox and Friends.
They lied. They lied in order to get the deal, and they're still lying.
Iran calls it ridiculous, saying Netanyahu is a liar. But Secretary of State Pompeo verifies the documents are authentic. President Trump's called the Iran deal terrible, may move to withdraw from it this month, though U.S. allies do not want that in Europe. The special counsel on the Russia probe reportedly has questions for the president. Fox's Rachel Sutherland, live in Washington.
Dave, among the questions Robert Mueller reportedly wants to ask the president, when was the decision made to fire FBI Director James Comey? Why? Who played a role? Also, what did you think and do regarding the recusal of Attorney General Jeff Sessions? The list of nearly 4 dozen questions was obtained by the New York Times. They also cover contacts between the Trump campaign and Russian officials. Sources tell Fox News the president hasn't ruled out an in-person interview with Mueller, but is skeptical about it. Dave.
And Rachel, he just tweeted, so disgraceful that the questions were leaked to the media, and he says no questions on collusion, calling that a made-up phony crime. President Trump also tweeted last night again about fake news, making up stories, after his chief of staff, John Kelly, denied reports that he called the president an idiot. More than 100 migrants remain at a San Diego border crossing seeking asylum.
That you have vulnerable people in Central America who are struggling and suffering in difficult circumstances, who are being exploited by open borders advocates who have people march thousands of miles up the peninsula to come to our southern border.
That's Vice President Pence at a California border site. 11 people have been detained accused of entering the country illegally. Fox News, fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Your yard is not just a yard. It's a baseball diamond, a water park, a movie theater, and a grand banquet hall. Your yard is where memories are made, and you have the best seat in the house with the John Deere X350 Select Series tractor. Now equipped with the exclusive one-touch mulch control system, you can tell your clippings where to go, out the chute, or back into your lawn with just the push of a button. Nothing runs like family, and nothing runs like a Deere. Visit your local John Deere dealer to test drive one today.
Are we ready to open next month?
I think so.
You think so?
Well, it's complicated. Fire protection, first aid supplies, uniforms, safety training, mat services, oh, and restroom supplies.
So uncomplicated. Call Cintas. They'll handle all of it.
Wow, one company can handle all that? That's not very complicated.
So, you'll be ready?
Oh, we'll be ready.
Oh, I'm ready! Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Kelly Financial Services, helping you secure your financial future today. Visit kellyfinancialservicesinc.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Guess what? It's gonna be May.
Do they really say it's going to be May or it's going to be me?
Oh, it's
going to be me. Oh, this is a plan where it's, oh my gosh, really? Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. I thought they NSYNC had a song for every month of the year. I was fooled. I was bamboozled.
But yes, it is May 1st. Right. Thanks so much for making this part of your morning.
May Day.
Amy Jacobson here with Bruce Wolf. Hi, Bruce.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Our guys are cheating on us.
Yes, that's what
Dan
I hear.
Proft and Sean from Elmwood Park are together. Having long walks along the beach, golfing together.
In Naples, Florida. And the thing is I don't mind being cheated on, but they're doing it openly and notoriously. They're tweeting about it.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I don't.
We have to tweet back.
Yes, we do.
Follow us on Twitter, and then hopefully they'll, have a shot of them two smoking cigars in the jacuzzi together.
I'm going to tweet.
Is
right
Sean
now.
leaving his wife? Is that what's happening right now? Am I imagining things? Is Dan
and his wife
going to the other side?
Sean's wife being me last
that's
week.
right.
Yes. I'm going to tweet right now. Amy and I are happily tossing to traffic and weather. Yes.
What about
by augmented breasts.
There we go.
That is from Dan a few years ago. And wait, we have this exclusive audio from Dan last night.
How many do you feel people with data sensor screening for Brokaw?
That's actually a preview of his debate with Pat Brady on May 22nd at the City Club.
Oh, I'm going to that. Are you going?
No.
I can't wait. That's not going to be, I think that's going to end up as a cage match. Two go in and one leaves.
These are two friends of mine.
Well, those two
Pat,
aren't friends anymore.
I know
and
that,
for the future of the Illinois Republican Party, should they get back together? Should they
What Republican
kiss and make
party?
up?
There's no Republican Party. Rauner's going down the toilet. There's no Republican Party.
Well, you're going to vote for him.
I may vote for Rauner. I may vote for him. I could see the other side, though, just letting the whole, as I like to call it, the Pritzkrieg.
The Pritzkrieg?
The Pritzkrieg that, and the Armageddon that will follow. Yes.
Breaking news overnight while you were sleeping. New York Times received some exclusive information. They have pages here of questions that special counsel Robert Mueller wants to ask President Trump.
I have a question. How did
Yes,
they get
sir.
this? Are they
You
not
know
supposed to
what?
leak this stuff?
It always happens, doesn't it? Who is the leaker? But there's a lot of questions. Of course, they focus on collusion and Russian collusion and possible obstruction of justice. So I'm going to ask you these questions. And if you're President Trump, do you answer them?
Right.
And if so, how? And if any of you want to play along, 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment. Because I don't think President Trump should answer any of these questions. But here we go. Okay. All right. Questions relating to Michael T. Flynn, the former National Security Advisor. What did you know about phone calls that Mr. Flynn made with the Russian ambassador, Sergei Kislyak? Do you like that?
Very good.
And I speak Russian. In late December 2016.
I would do what Joe Valachi did, which is what Frankie Five Angels, I believe, did, and plead the Fifth Amendment at that point.
Okay.
But if I were Trump, I'd probably answer and say, hey, I know that Flynn didn't even lie to the FBI, and that's going to be overturned. And there was nothing wrong with talking to Kislyak. What was that? Was that breaking the Logan Act, which hasn't been prosecuted in 200 years or whatever? This is a bunch of bull. Next question.
What did you know about Sally Yates' meeting about Mr. Flynn?
I know that Sally Yates was insubordinate, that she was supposed to uphold the travel ban because there was a legitimate basis for the Attorney General to do that, and she didn't, and she should have quit instead of, yapped her way out of her job.
Wow, nice. Yeah, she was the acting Attorney General for the first weeks of the Trump administration.
Right.
And twice warned the White House that Mr. Flynn was lying.
Right. You know what?
Those lies made him vulnerable to Russian blackmail.
Do you know how they get you into a perjury trap, the FBI?
No.
If you don't know the difference between scarlet and red, that can be perjury. And you could say something's red, and they could say, no, the manufacturer says the car was scarlet, therefore you're lying. I mean, it's you got to be really careful.
And then here's another question. How was the decision made to fire Mr. Flynn on February 13th, 2017? That's none of his business.
Well, he lied to Pence.
Right.
Okay. So what's the big deal here? What does this
Mr.
have to
Trump
do with
lost
anything?
confidence. These are the questions that
I got questions
Mueller
for you, Mueller.
wants.
What were you doing with James Comey at John Ashcroft's bedside in the early 2000s when he was in the hospital? What were you doing then? You answer some questions. I got a question for you.
Well, speaking of James Comey, here's questions related to him. What was your opinion of Mr. Comey during the transition?
Opinion? What, is he supposed to write an op-ed here?
Were they, questions about Mr. Comey relate to whether Mr. Trump fired Mr. Comey last year to shield Mr. Flynn anyone else from prosecution. They were already prosecuting Flynn.
If I were Trump, I'd say, I tell you, Mueller, why don't you ask Mr. Comey how he violated his employment agreement, if not the law, by releasing or leaking, which he doesn't even claim he does. Even Anderson Cooper doesn't believe him anymore. And once you've lost Anderson Cooper, you've lost the nation.
You've lost it, yes.
He leaked his memos. Why don't you ask him about that?
This is great. What was the purpose of your January 27th dinner with Mr. Comey, and what was said?
I wanted loyalty,
You know what?
I like from everybody. Otherwise, you're fired. And you're fired right now.
I mean, I would not ask, and I've said this from the outset, I would never, if I was President Trump, sit down with Robert Mueller. And I know President Trump, he's a showman. He wants transparency. I didn't do anything wrong. This is a witch hunt. But still.
If I were Trump, I'd say,
what would you say?
Give me the same consideration that the Department of Justice gave to Hillary Clinton. Let's toss around immunity and attorney-client privilege like candy. Let's have the fix be in where even though it's a violation of the law, you say you can't prosecute it anyway because of prosecutorial discretion. Let's give me the same treatment that you gave to Hillary Clinton.
All right. Remember Mr. Comey said that Trump called him twice to ask him to say publicly that he was not under FBI investigation. And in the second call, Mr. Comey said the president added, I've been very loyal to you, very loyal. We had that thing, This is a question. What was the purpose of your calls to Mr. Comey? And then they said the days March 30th and April 11th.
What was Mr. Comey, that greasy little squirrel, what was his purpose? Because as much as he's dissed me, had I not fired him, he'd still be the FBI director as much as he supposedly doesn't have respect for me.
What did you think and do about Mr. Comey's May 3rd, 2017 testimony? And that's when in his Senate appearance. Who cares?
Well,
what you think?
Well,
what kind of a question is that? How do you feel is next?
All I know is that Comey is telling Trump that he's not under investigation, but he won't tell anybody else that he's not under investigation. I could understand Trump's frustration. Here's what I'd ask, too. I'd ask Mueller, how would you like it if for the first time you met the FBI director, he came up to you J. Edgar Hoover style and said, hey, we got some stuff here on you that some prostitutes in Moscow were micturating on you. Then I got to look up the word to see what it means. That they were doing
that. Is that what
that.
the terminology was? Micturating?
Micturating. I don't think it was. And that we got this stuff on you. Oh, and by the way, I'm not going to tell you that this whole thing was funded by the Democratic Party, so I'm really going to scare the bejesus out of you. How would you feel, Mueller, about that? You're investigating the wrong guy, Mueller. I sound like Sean Hannity.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But he is. I mean, then there's questions about, Jeff Sessions. There's questions about the campaign coordination with Russia, alleged about you.
When did they get to the
Ukrainian
point about
arms?
threatening Stormy Daniels?
What did you know about communication leaks between Roger Stone and his associates?
Here's the thing,
Julian Assange or WikiLeaks.
Here's the thing that's really curious right now. The National Enquirer has started Breaking Bad on Michael Cohen. Now, the National Enquirer is owned by guys who are friends with Trump. Remember whole slurring of Ted Cruz, his father being involved with the JFK's assassination, all that stuff. And there's this thing called Catch and Kill, where they get the story from the woman who wants to spill the beans
I thought it was
on
called
Trump.
Catch and Switch or Catch and Bait.
Bait and switch, catch and kill, catch and release. They're all the same thing. They're variations on a theme. But what the whole thing was is that they get the story, they pay for the story for the woman who wants to,
tell her
on
story.
Trump, tell
that was
her
the
story.
Playmate of the year.
But then they don't run the story.
See,
so
here's
they
the
kill
thing.
the story. But so they've been on Trump's side. The problem is now they seem to be breaking bad on Cohn. They're printing bad stuff about Cohn. So the question is, I got this from hotair.com.
Yeah. Well, all right.
I just want to finish the point.
That
the question right now is why would they be doing that? And are they doing that because Trump wants to distance himself from Cohn? He wants to make Cohn look bad because he's afraid Cohn is going to eventually flip on him. Not about Russia or anything, but maybe about some conspiracy to silence these women and not necessarily threaten them physically, but to buy them off and be engaged in some kind of criminal conspiracy. That's the only. I don't know if it's true.
Don't
or
you
not,
think
but
everybody knows that President Trump is not really telling the truth when he's talking about he doesn't know that his attorney paid off Stormy Daniels $130,000?
Well, now wasn't the latest thing he said was that Cohn was his attorney? Hasn't he gone like back and forth on this?
I mean,
yeah. Yeah, it's
just
strange
what
credulity.
he should have done
it's
at the
strange
beginning.
Credulity. Yes.
Come out front. I made a mistake. I cheated on my wife. I've asked for her forgiveness. She's forgiven me. Then none of this would be happening. Well, first of all, don't sleep with a porn star. That's your first problem, especially right after your wife gives birth.
John Edwards did the same stuff.
No,
Right? His wife was
with
dying of
Rachel
cancer.
Hunter. Yeah,
right.
no, not with a. There's a difference here. Okay, this is a woman thing. If you want to lean in closer.
I do.
Okay.
And lean
Come
in
on.
is a term of art like that women do. They lean in.
There's different levels of pain when your husband cheats on you.
And when you're pregnant, it's the worst.
Right after you give birth, bad time.
Because you got.
And then to do it with a porn star, double E's, and not use
Does the
protection.
size of the breast matter?
It's humiliating, and it's very painful, and it's unimaginable that would happen. And then not use protection. Okay. 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. Oh, there's ladies on the line.
All right.
All right.
Very
Let's go
good.
to Sarah, who joins us from Glenview. Hold on. Still trying to figure out the phone system. Hi, Sarah.
I would like to see Mueller treat. I would like to see. Hello.
Hi, you're on, Sarah. Can
I
you
would like to see Mueller treat Trump like they treated Hillary. Why is Mr. Mueller not an investigation?
I think I understand what she's saying.
Matter.
She wants the same treatment between
Thanks,
for
Sarah.
Hillary.
Hopefully she could
The same
take us
treatment-
off speakerphone.
Well, she had other things to do. I mean, but yeah, treat Hillary the same as she treat Trump the same as she treated Hillary. Yeah.
All right, let's
Thank you,
go.
Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah. Let's go to Peggy, who joins us from Chicago. Good morning, Peggy.
Good morning. I was hoping that they could just ignore the whole thing. When he gets these dumb questions, to just turn it around and talk about his agenda and what he's done, and just not give these people... I'm tired of hearing it. I'm just tired of hearing it. I don't want to hear any more about it. They've spent all this money, taxpayer money, doing this investigation that has turned up nothing on Trump but a lot on Hillary. And it just... They haven't done anything about Hillary, and they seem to be, driving the tax burden up, and I'm really not very happy about it. Oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you one thing.
Yes. Hey, Peggy, can you turn your radio down, please?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of annoying.
Hold on
I
just
just
a
want to make
second.
sure our lines work because we're having Reverend Jackson on at 7:07.
No, especially because
so-
she's listening to another station right now, so that really bothers me.
Hey, Peggy?
Oh yeah, she's listening.
What I wanted to tell you was that I got this thing from a group called Intercessors for America, and this lady was told to run for Congress, and she'd been a dog catcher or some small, government person. And she goes to take a look at Congress, and she says, I'm not going up here without intercessors. These people are out for money and power. They don't care anything about their constituents. And God said something that really made me feel good. He said, I will expose the charlatans. And I figure when God stands up, everybody else sits down.
Could you turn back your radio up? Thank you, Peggy.
Thank you, Peggy.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
It may be the first time in the history of radio that a radio host asked the listener to turn their radio up.
Yes. President Trump loves a good show. Where to meet Kim Jong-un coming up. But first, here's your forecast, and it's a hot one.
Oh, today,
Hot.
windy and very warm with sun and some clouds, a high of 84. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy, and warm, a late-night shower in spots. Low of 64. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and becoming windier with a shower or thunderstorm. High of 78. Low tomorrow night, 65. Now for a check of traffic, here's Jim Telemonte.
Bruce and Amy, traffic's already sticky on the inbound highs at Howard and the Stevens. The I delays starting at Wolf Road, 50 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 32, and the Stevenson. Inbound delays start at Weber Road, and it's an hour and 4 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 48 minutes from the Tri-State. Eden's 22 minutes, Lake Cook to the Junction, outbound 19. Kennedy, 25 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 22. Ryan, being at 24 minutes from 95th to downtown. I-57, 20 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, Bishop 425. Westbound Tri-State heavy from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Spot Adams Tollway stop and go from the Tri-State to Kennedy. Their tollways are okay for now. I'm Jim Talamonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, we got a quick text message. If the question does not relate to Russia, then he should take a pass. That is the extent of the Mueller investigation.
But unfortunately, it isn't, because Rod Rosenstein gave him quite a bit of latitude there. But the texter's right in spirit. Homeowners often say their basement only leaks when it rains. Well, you don't worry about your living room getting wet, do you? Then why do you want to worry about your basement? Permaseal believes that your basement should be dry all the time, no matter how hard it rains. That's right. You can have a permanently dry basement. Give Permaseal a call at 800-421-SEAL. They offer a free estimate and transferable warranties, so you can rest assured you're getting the best value. Back in 1979, Roy Spencer started Permaseal, and it's still a local Chicagoland business whose purpose is to make the world a better place, one basement or crawl space at a time. Your basement is already dry some of the time, but if you want your basement dry all of the time, you know who to call. Permaseal at 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325, or go to permaseal.net.
Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
I look at Balance of Nature and I look what it's doing for me as I've started taking it, and for the patients that I have that are taking it, and it's been phenomenal watching the changes that have happened and how much healthier and how much more energy that they have. I haven't heard any negative feedback from any of my patients who have been taking the product. And the thing that amazes me with it is that it's so simple.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
I can't get the alarm company on the phone to save my life. My alarm's going off all the time, and I don't know why. It's driving me crazy.
Call Alarm Detection Systems. We have live reps answering phones 24/7, 365. No auto attendant. Call 630-844-6300. Give us your business and get better customer service in return. Visit adsalarm.com. Alarm license number 127000143.
I own a fast food restaurant that was broken into early this morning. They tore the alarm panel right off the wall, and Alarm Detection Systems came in the same day to replace it.
Same-day service is available to all our customers. Never worry about your security system. Get to know Alarm Detection Systems. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. That's 630-844-6300. Alarm license number 127000143.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Have you met the Swamp Brothers? Congressman Todd Rokita and Congressman Luke Messer. You already know their stories. Todd Rokita and Luke Messer are two lawyers who never practiced and became career politicians. What makes them Swamp Brothers? It's their records in Washington. In Congress, Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted to fast-track Obama's bad trade deals which could have cost Indiana thousands of jobs. And Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted for billions in new debt, $500 billion to be exact. But there's more, and it's even worse. Todd and Luke voted to fund abortion provider Planned Parenthood and Obama's executive amnesty. Todd's no conservative. He's a fraud. Luke's no conservative. He's a liberal. Todd the fraud, Luke the liberal. The Swamp Brothers. Wrong for you.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
AM 560. The answer.
President Trump loves a good show, so where to meet Kim Jong-un? There was talk of Singapore, Malaysia, Sweden. I think Stockholm's been knocked out of the race, but it is May 1st, folks, and this meeting's going to happen.
Trump wants it at
not
the DMZ.
If, but where.
He wants it at the DMZ.
Oh, yeah, that's what he said yesterday when he was with the president of Nigeria.
There's something that I like about it because you're there. You're actually there, where if things work out, there's a great celebration to be had on the site.
Didn't Trump call Nigeria an S-hole place?
Yes, he did. We'll get to that in a second because they did bring that up. A reporter asked him about it. And the president of Nigeria handled it beautifully. But 312-642-5600 is our Turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. I think it's too risky for him to go to the DMZ. I mean, he wants to go to the Blue House. That's that beautiful place that they built right there on the border. That's where Kim Jong-un met last Friday with the president of South Korea, President Moon. But I don't know if, I mean, can you just see the visual? If things go well, I could see President Trump kind of stepping onto North Korean soil. And I don't want to see him do
if
that.
he plants a flag of the United States and declare it our territory.
I think it's too dangerous.
The thing about Trump is
he's a showman.
Well, he's such a wild card that he could back off and say, so I'm meeting here. They didn't give us what we wanted. I'm now going to change my mind about it. He could do that. This is a very dangerous thing. David French has a good article in National Review this morning about the fact that North Korea identifies so much with its nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons have given North Korea cred. It's just a backwater nation without nuclear weapons, so they're not going to give them up.
Well, Kim Jong-un promised to shut down their nuclear test site in May, today's May. If we promise not to send troops in,
he's not.
Which sounds.
Give up
I mean,
his
how
nukes.
are they going to? How are the nuclear weapons going to be removed? Will he denuclearize his entire country? I don't trust him. And I think to go into the lion's den is the dumbest thing President Trump
not
could
a
do.
lion.
It's got to be a neutral spot.
I don't think that. You know what? I remember in '68 with Lee Ducteau, Cha-Cha, that we argued about the shape of the conference table at the Paris peace talks to end the Vietnam War. And I understand that it's all about the prelims and the optics, and the meeting places are important. But with Trump, like I say, it doesn't matter. I think he could back out of it, and he's always got Bolton as an ace in the hole and Pompeo, and they'll say no. And the problem is that we're at the end of the line here. We can kick the can down the road only so much. And now North Korea is just about able to send a missile to the United States of America. So I don't know that there's an easy way
told
out.
President Moon that I have no intention of targeting you or the United States of America.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy,
And
he's a sociopath.
He got 4 holes in 1 in his first round of golf.
Well, I think that was his dad.
I think he
That was
claimed
Kim
it, too.
Jong-il, not Kim Jong-un.
Which one was so Ronry? I can't remember.
I'm so Wowie.
Yeah.
That was Kim Jong-un.
Okay.
Who I thought was going to slim down this month, take some Calitrin to get ready for his meeting with President Trump.
He consumes like 90% of the calories in North Korea.
Well, I think they're starving, and I think that this is obviously a financial situation. They want sanctions lifted so that he could eat, so he can have this opulent lifestyle continue, and while he continues to starve the people of North Korea. 312-642-5600 is the phone number. Oh, look who's on line one. Sean from Elmwood Park, who's flirting with Dan in Florida?
No. First of all, if I was a dandy, I'd be driving a Bentley. However, as you know, I'm irresistible. I can't control the proclivities of certain hosts.
There you go. Oh, tell me about it.
All right. And speaking of those proclivities, what did you do? What happened to Bruce? Now it's The View, emotions, prom dates.
It's because
outrage at strippers.
I'm sitting at I'm sitting in the seat that you sat in last week, Sean. So I'm assuming that subordinate role. That's what I'm doing.
Oh my God.
Number one.
I'm submissive.
And now this thing with North Korea.
Yes. What do you think?
Am I
Let's
the
talk
only
about
one
North Korea.
that saw The Godfather? How do you know he doesn't give him a Michael Corleone?
Yep.
Excuse me while I go to the bathroom.
There you go.
Right?
You're absolutely right about that.
That's right. And he puts himself in a very vulnerable position because you can't get out of there. Thanks, Sean, for the phone call.
And Amy?
Yes, dear.
Just
Stop
one
making
thing.
out with Dan Proft. Yes?
How could we can be outraged at Stormy Daniels, but each time you mention it, you should mention the intern, the teenage intern, that Clinton is now the greatest statesman in the world. At least Trump cut a deal with an adult and a professional. Let's give him some credit.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah. No, Clinton killed Kathleen Willie's cat, allegedly, and Trump allegedly threatened Stormy Daniels with her ex-husband.
Well,
if
he
you believe
didn't.
the
He
artist's
didn't.
sketch.
She's claiming that somebody in that group paid somebody to try to threaten her in the parking lot of a gym.
In law, it's called respondeat superior. The actions of your agent are imputed to you. I mean, he was doing, Michael Cohen was doing Donald Trump's bidding. Nobody believes otherwise.
Allegedly. But now, yesterday, Stormy Daniels suing President Trump for defamation because of the tweet when he responded to the sketch that she, this artist rendition of this guy who approached her in the parking lot. And she's calling that defamation.
Well, he said
because he called it a con job.
He said it's a con job, and the problem is that fortunately the First Amendment gives you wide latitude on what you can say, so you can innocently construe things like con job. That just sounds like bombast. It's not a specific allegation.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Your local 1-hour heating and air conditioning knows how miserable it feels when your AC goes out. You want it fixed fast, fixed right, and get a fast quote. Unlike some companies, we don't give you a quote until we actually see what the problem is. Then we'll give you our straightforward price and always stand by our work. Right now, get savings on any AC repair. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1-HOUR.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Cook County homeowners pay up or else. Your property taxes will be put up for auction. We'll get Maria Pappas, the Cook County Treasurer, joining us next. And later, Bruce, did you hear her? It's the softer side of comedian Michelle Wolf. She responds to that hack job she did on Sarah Sanders.
Did you see the tweets that she deleted? How cruel they were?
No, but we'll go over them.
Yeah.
But first, let's check in with Mike Scott.
56 and sunshine. ABC News just reporting that President Trump campaign, according to their report, paid more than $250,000 to cover some legal expenses for attorney Michael Cohen. That, according to ABC, whose sources tell the network the payments were related to Cohen's legal defense. It may be illegal to use some campaign funds for personal expenses. There are reports Special Counsel Robert Mueller wants to ask President Trump what he knew about Russian hacking during the 2016 campaign. The New York Times obtaining a list of more than 40 questions Mueller wants to ask Trump. Officials in Iran are pushing back after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accused the Islamic Republic of breaking the terms of the 2015 international nuclear agreement.
Iran lied about never having a nuclear weapons program. 100,000 secret files prove that they lied.
An Iranian foreign ministry official called Netanyahu's charges lies. A number of people are feared dead after a high-rise building in Brazil collapsed in flames. At least one person is confirmed dead at the tower in Sao Paulo this morning. Witnesses heard dozens screaming for help before the building fell. Be careful with matches this afternoon in the grill this evening. National Weather Service posting a red flag warning for an increased fire danger for folks from just north of Bloomington Normal all the way to the west and northern Chicago suburbs. Two are in custody following a hit-and-run crash. It involved a police car near UIC. The white vehicle slammed into the squad early this morning near Halsted and Roosevelt, then took off onto 290. Authorities chased that vehicle down as it came back into the city, curbing it near Congress Parkway and Michigan Avenue. Supporters of a progressive tax in Illinois say almost all taxpayers in the state will see a tax cut, and the state will see $2 billion more at the same time. Center for Tax and Budget Accountability yesterday unveiled their partisan plan. It favors a progressive tax. Republicans and many nonpartisan tax experts say that plan is solely based on fuzzy math. Cubs hold on to clip the Rockies 3-2. Sox and Cardinals at Busch Stadium tonight. The news a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 6:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains the left's mind.
How do they reconcile their self-image as intellectually open with their practice of intellectually being closed? They really believe that there is no other way to approach life than a left-wing way. So you are not being intellectually closed, by not allowing a conservative to speak.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Have you written a book and want to get it published? Christian Faith Publishing helps thousands of authors just like you publish their books with a company dedicated to strong Christian values. To help you get started, we want to send you our free author submission kit. Christian Faith Publishing reviews every book submitted to us, and if your book is approved, we'll edit, design, copyright protect, print, and distribute your book online and in bookstores everywhere. Imagine seeing your book in specialty Christian bookstores, Amazon, iTunes, Barnes & Noble, and many others. It could happen, and it all starts with one call to Christian Faith Publishing at 800-566-1012 for your free author submission kit. If you have a novel, children's book, poetry, biography, or any inspirational work you've written, we can help you get it published today. Shouldn't you work with a publisher who shares your Christian values of integrity and honesty? You can get your book published. So call for your free author submission kit right now. Call 800-566-1012. That's 800-566-1012. 800-566-1012.
6:35 and a check of your morning roads. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here is Jim Talamonte.
Mike Eden's inbound traffic is heavy first on the spur, Waukegan Road to the Edens, then from Dempster to the junction. It's 28 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 21. Kennedy 35 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 15 from Montrose, 10 on the Express. Outbound 28 minutes to the airport, Eisenhower. An hour and 5 minutes, 390 to downtown, 48 minutes from Mannheim, outbound 39 minutes, 390. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 40 minutes. Ryan, 24 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State heavy, 115th to 111th. Make that to 87th. Then from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge, Adams Tollway slow, Tri-State to Kennedy. Traffic, service of HHS's Health Resources and Service Administration. It's Older Americans Month. You're 60, 70, or beyond. Why deprive the world of your awesome life-saving power as an organ, eye, and tissue donor? Every age is the right age to sign up. Learn more. Call 866-99-DONATE. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Windy, very warm. We'll have sun and clouds today, high 84. Currently in Chicago, 61 at O'Hare. We have 57 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
So did you pay up Bruce Wolf? Are you compliant? Have you paid your property taxes?
I don't have anything to do with that. I wouldn't even know my own signature right now. If I actually tried to sign my own signature right now, I'd be accused of forgery because my wife has signed my name for the last several decades.
So you don't deal with that? Are your property taxes escrowed into your mortgage?
I am not allowed to have anything to do. I don't even know if I own property.
Oh, come on. No. You don't live in Cook County, though, do you? You used to live in Cook County.
I barely live in the state of Illinois. No.
Oh, you're just teetering on the edge of Wisconsin?
I am like at 1 foot in Wisconsin.
Well, you should move to Wisconsin because your property taxes would be lower.
Don't say that. We're about to have Maria Pappas on
I know.
the line. You cannot tell people to exit Illinois. How is she going to be able to respond to that?
Well, the reason why we're bringing her back on our show, Maria Pappas, Cook County Treasurer, is because Cook County property owners with past due tax bills could face steeper payments after this Friday. Good morning, Mrs. Pappas. How are you?
Good morning, guys. I'm really great.
Yeah, so tell us
I'm going to try and squeeze in a lot of information here. So somebody's got to get out, if they're listening, a pencil and a piece of paper.
Okay, duly noted.
Go to cookcountytreasure.com.
Okay, so
we have 450,000 people a month visiting this site.
Wow.
And we now have more people visiting that site on a daily basis because if you go there, you can punch the purple box in the middle of the site. And it will tell you, and very simply, put in your address, 180 East Pearson, and it will tell you if you owe, if you're on the tax sale list, which starts May 4th, those are taxes from 2016, payable in 2017, get sold in 2018 if you didn't pay. There are 37,000 on the list. Problem is that 15,000 of those are properties where the mail was returned to our office.
Ew.
So again, I repeat, go to cookcountytreasurer.com, punch the purple box in the middle. You will see a place to put in your address. Immediately will pop up extraordinarily valuable information. You can find out if you owe, punch another button, you can pay online.
Well, so there's
we
37.
now have 320,000 people who've paid online. They don't even go to Chase anymore.
Okay.
Because
well, you have 37,000 property owners that you mentioned will have their property taxes put up for auction. So you're not auctioning off their homes. You're auctioning off their property taxes to a third party. And then how much, I mean, those are going to be steeper fines then, correct?
If you owe like $1,000, you could ended up paying $4,000 in 2.5 years in the redemption process to get it back. But here's the key here in everything I'm saying today. We know that countywide, 126,000 seniors have not applied for their senior citizen exemption. If you go to this site, you can go back 4 years and it will tell you whether or not you're a senior and you got your exemption last year but forgot to apply and get it this year. The very same people who may be on this tax sale list are seniors who are entitled to that exemption, didn't get it, and as a consequence, these 36,000 parcels, 17,000 of them are people who owe under $1,000. So we are out looking for those most vulnerable. We have the aldermen, elected officials, assessors knocking on doors because trying to get to people via the mail just isn't working. And we've got until Friday.
Okay. So I'm reading this story from the Tribune, and it says a breakdown of the data shows a high number of unpaid tax bills in less affluent city neighborhoods and suburbs. Harvey, with more than 4,300 unpaid tax bills, tops the list by far. And you think of poor Harvey, where they're drowning in property taxes, and they can't afford to pay because they have so much that they owe, in government services.
Well, they cut down firefighters and the number of firefighters and police officers in half.
They can't afford it anymore, and part of this, I mean, probably is they have unpaid tax bills. This is nothing. And these are less affluent areas. It seems highly unfair. I know you can't necessarily comment on that, but you could certainly try to get them.
No, but I can I can give you a little hint here. So assume you're on this list. You can do something like file bankruptcy before Friday. It will take you off the list. Or on that site that I mentioned, where you just pump in your address on cookcountytreasurer.com, you can actually pay by credit card. You can go in and pay by credit card.
Sounds like a Hobson's choice, but I guess you're giving the least bad alternatives. Yeah,
I'm trying to give you the least of the worst here to at least get off the list until you get some money to come back in and
Because if they don't pay up or file for bankruptcy or do something by Friday, I mean, this begins the process of them losing their homes.
Right. Over a 2-year period. But here's one more thing that they can do. What we're finding is these are, as I said, the most vulnerable of people. They're seniors who are homebound, didn't get the mail, in bed, in wheelchairs, or they get the mail, don't open it. If you don't have a computer, get your pencil out again. You can write down 312-443-5100. You can go to that telephone number and punch in your PIN number, which is the 14-digit number at the top of your tax sale bill. And the voice at the other end of the phone, just like with your credit card, will tell you if you owe and how you can pay, and you can pay online. So that's kind of what we have set up. Amy and Bruce, I just want to tell you one other thing. This may shock you. Cook County has 126 spoken languages. If you go to this site, we have had people download 130,000 times in Polish. So there's no excuse for anyone who really doesn't understand the system The website is now translatable in 106 languages, and we've had people download 400,000 times in foreign languages. So we're trying to get this message out as quickly and as easily as possible to people who are trying to understand an extraordinarily complicated system. I want to thank you for putting me on this morning.
Sure.
I'll give you one last tidbit.
Okay.
You would think that it is the city where most of these homes are going to be, taxes are going to be sold. Two-thirds of the 186 million that's getting auctioned on Friday are in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Really?
It's suburban homes.
Yeah, and poor suburbs right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, all right. Thank you so much.
So where we go again?
CookCountyTreasure.com.
All right.
And 312-443-5100. Last bit of information. If you never want to get a piece of mail from me again, come to my office, go to Chase, any of that, sign up for e-billing. E-billing. You can get it by punching the little blue box. You will get it in your email.
All right. Thank you so much, Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas, and she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
That lady's crunching a lot of numbers, huh? Coming up next, the softer side of comedian Michelle Wolf when she's on NPR with her soft, caring voice. A far cry from the White House Correspondents' Dinner where she was, I guess, and was very rude.
And you'll love her deleted tweets. They could be construed as being racist and sexist. So it's going to be good. Today, windy and very warm with sun and some clouds, high of 84. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy and warm, a late-night shower in spots, low of 64. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and becoming windier with a shower or thunderstorm around 78 degrees is a high, low tomorrow night, 65. Now with the traffic, here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Bruce. Eastbound Eden Spur, it's heavy Waukegan Road to the Edens. More delays kick in at Niles Center, 29 minutes. Lake Cook Junction, outbound 21. Kennedy, 42 minutes now. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 36. Eisenhower, an hour and 5 minutes, 390 to downtown. 48 minutes from Manheim, outbound 39 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 40 minutes. Ryan, 38 minutes, 95th to downtown. Tri-State, laser northbound, 115th to 75th. From the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis. From the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Adams Tollway heavy. Tri-State, Kennedy. Northbound Veterans Memorial a bit tight. Now Findlay to Roosevelt. I'm Jim Talamonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I'm Lou Dobbs, the new head of the CDC, asking for his pay to be cut. Updates on construction spending and car sales ahead. Gasoline prices are on the rise. Those stories next.
The backyard's looking great, Rob.
Thanks, man. I was planning on adding a deck, too. Know any good contractors?
Why don't you just ask Home Advisor?
Home what?
HomeAdvisor.com. You just tell them about your project and they match you with local pros that can do the job.
Nice. Now, how much does it cost?
Oh, Home Advisor's totally free to use. Plus, you can read customer reviews, check pricing, and book appointments for free.
What's the website again?
HomeAdvisor.com. Or just download the free Home Advisor app.
Home Advisor.
Wondering how you can make a difference with your cell phone? Check out Patriot Mobile, America's only conservative cell phone company. Patriot's mission is to provide a portion of their profits to conservative causes. You get the same great nationwide service as Big Mobile, transparent pricing, competitive plans, easy switching, discounts for active military, veterans, and first responders. All you need to know is their address, patriotmobile.com. That's patriotmobile.com. Patriot Mobile, built on conservative principles.
The new head of the Centers for Disease Control says he's tired of the grousing over his salary. Dr. Robert Redfield asking for and receiving a cut in pay. His original salary of $375,000 being cut, although the CDC isn't saying by how much. And economic reports today include the Institute for Supply Management's Manufacturing Index, the latest figures on construction spending and vehicle sales. If you're planning to drive on your summer vacation, you can expect more pain at the pump. Crude oil prices at the highest level in 3 years. The average national price at the pump about $2.80 a gallon. 13% of gasoline stations now charging $3 a gallon or more. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern, on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Hey guys, Ken here from the award-winning podcast Today's Growth. If you had to choose sides, which camp would you rather be in?
Would you rather have time and no money, or money and no time? Did you know that 95% of U.S. adults by choice have settled into these categories? Much more interesting is that 1 out of 20 people have built their life around achieving simultaneous control of both time and money. What choices did these 5% make that the others didn't? My friends at Income Store have shown both households and businesses how to build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams for the express purpose of gaining control of time. When it comes to helping folks create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Go to IncomeStore.com today. That's IncomeStore.com.
Hey, I should mention this. My wife texted me. You're talking about fake news. Those questions from Mueller aren't real. Mueller would not leak those. Okay. She may be right about that. Americans at every tax bracket got a tax cut thanks to the tax bill signed into law last year. The economy is growing, wages are rising, and Americans are feeling better about the future. And you've got more money to spend on what's important to you and your priorities. It is your money, after all. But Democrats in Congress who voted against the tax cuts are promising to raise your taxes if they win in November. They want to take your money back to spend on their priorities, and only you can stop them. To find out how much more of your money you could get to keep instead of sending it to Washington, D.C., go to taxcutswork.com now. There's an easy-to-use calculator, and it'll tell you how much money the new tax cuts are saving you this year. Check your savings at taxcutswork.com and then sign a letter to Congress telling them to keep their hands off your tax cut savings. Go to taxcutswork.com because the money you're saving is yours. Go to taxcutswork.com. Check your savings and let Congress know you want to keep your savings.
Chicagoland, Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at thehomeloanexpert.com. It's real simple with Ryan. He's one of us, and he gets it. Ryan, thanks for joining us. Look, the housing market is hot right now, very hot in Chicago, top of the market. What does someone need to do if they're going to buy a house this year?
You know, what a great question, Dan. I appreciate letting me jump on with you, and you're exactly right. The housing market is hot. It's really hot. And if you're even considering buying a house this year, you need to get pre-approved, and you need to be pre-approved by a strong mortgage lender. And I mean that. There's a lot of other lenders. There's a lot of banks out there. But when you get pre-approved by thehomeloanexpert.com, that pre-approval is like gold. Heck, we even print them on gold paper. They're so valuable. And if you are considering buying a house, know one thing. You're not the only person out there watching the same neighborhoods, the same school districts, waiting for those listings. There's a lot of other people sitting on the sideline. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, Illinois residential mortgage licensee.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I went to have my blood test done a few weeks ago, and I met the doctor, and he was really encouraged by my progress, and I showed him what I was taking, and he started looking at all the ingredients, and he said, I'm really impressed with the shiitake mushroom. And he said, this stuff, it could clean out your arteries. And I'm like, oh, wow. He said, you may be onto something here. And he said, you just keep that up, and maybe you can start cutting back on your medication. And he says, you're helping your health by doing that. And I'm like, whoa, endorsement by the doctor.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. I'm an inquisitive sort. I want to understand the left, but I have questions. When it comes to your concern that law enforcers not be above the law, is that just for beat cops, or does it extend to senior level officials at the nation's most powerful law enforcement agency? I ask because I haven't heard the date announced for the Andy McCabe protests. When it comes to treating the Constitution like an Asian buffet, are there limits to the application of the sanctuary designation? I ask because Effingham County, Illinois, voted to make their jurisdiction a sanctuary county for Second Amendment rights to protect the rights of their residents to protect themselves. I understand you to be stalwart defenders of a free press now. Could you share your conversion story? I ask because of your silence when Obama Attorney General Eric Holder surveilled and subpoenaed Fox News reporter James Rosen, and when Patrick Fitzgerald imprisoned New York Times reporter Judith Miller in the Scooter Libby case, to cite but just two examples. Thank you in advance for helping me distinguish your virtue from your virtue signal.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Have you met the Swamp Brothers? Congressman Todd Rokita and Congressman Luke Messer. You already know their stories. Todd Rokita and Luke Messer are two lawyers who never practiced and became career politicians. What makes them Swamp Brothers? It's their records in Washington. In Congress, Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted to fast-track Obama's bad trade deals which could have cost Indiana thousands of jobs. And Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted for billions in new debt, $500 billion to be exact. But there's more, and it's even worse. Todd and Luke voted to fund abortion provider Planned Parenthood and Obama's executive amnesty. Todd's no conservative. He's a fraud. Luke's no conservative. He's a liberal. Todd the fraud. Luke the liberal. The Swamp Brothers. Wrong for you.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
AM 560. The Answer.
So our dainty little flower, Michelle Wolf, the comedian, the host of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, that sassy pants.
It is kind of crazy that the Trump campaign was in contact with Russia when the Hillary campaign wasn't even in contact with Michigan. It's a direct flight. It's so close.
Yeah, and she was just so cruel and mean to Sarah Sanders.
I'm a little starstruck. I love you as Aunt Lydia on The Handmaid's Tale. Ms. Pence, if you haven't seen it, you would love it. She burns facts, and then she uses that ash to create a perfect smoky eye. Like, maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's lies. I'm never really sure what to call Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Is it Sarah Sanders? Is it Sarah Huckabee Sanders? Is it Cousin Huckabee? Is it Auntie Huckabee Sanders? Like, what's Uncle Tom but for white women who disappoint other white women?
So what's anti-Huckabee Sanders? That's like a hillbilly connotation.
Yeah.
Of course, they're all beautiful people, right?
Yeah, well, she fulfilled all of the negative stereotypes about the liberal media, I can tell you that. But here's a reason why she said people weren't laughing at her jokes. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. She said that dinner attendees, Bruce, weren't laughing because they didn't want to seem partisan on camera while she mocked President Trump and others on his staff.
Here's the problem with that Correspondents' Dinner, as Kyle Smith had an essay in a National Review on yesterday. It's a partisan dinner. It's always rip the Republican in office, and George Bush took it. When the Democrats in office, like Obama, it's rip Fox News. Now, there was the exception with Don Imus going after Bill Clinton and Hillary for the sex stuff. But in the main, it is a partisan thing, and the Democrats and the media were exposed by this. She actually had deleted a whole bunch of tweets, apparently, like thousands of tweets before the Correspondents' Dinner. But there were screenshots of them. One of them was, LeBron was named Sports Illustrated Man of the Year. Sorry, Serena. Now, actually, that's a good Family Guy type joke. Now, I wouldn't mind it if she were an equal opportunity destroyer like that. Right. If she made fun of Michelle Obama's buttocks, for example.
Well, she was on Fresh Air on NPR yesterday.
Okay. Oh, okay.
There's a softer side of her.
I'm more surprised on what they're focusing on, rather, because I think I said more controversial things than the actual jokes that they're focusing on. I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to cater to the room. I wanted to cater to the outside audience and not betray my brand of comedy.
Well,
she catered to the room and to the Colbert audience. That's what she did.
So she did do that. I mean, because I have never heard of her before.
Well, I actually
Saturday.
saw her on their HBO special, and I think I mentioned this yesterday. I liked one of the bits that she did. But, I mean, there is a little bit of sexism going on here, though, because women are being very sensitive about this, like your Andrea Mitchell types. Yeah. Give me the Venn diagram of people who have defended Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Tom Brokaw. I think it was one person in it, and it's Andrea Mitchell.
Well, she said, I wouldn't change a single word that I said. I'm very happy with what I said, and I'm glad I stuck to my guns. That dinner should go away. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the time has arrived. Reverend Jackson's going to be here to talk about North Korea and his trip in hopes of getting 3 Americans back. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, here are the stories we're watching this morning. A woman attacked by 2 dogs on the south side. Dozens of students fall ill after prom at the Shed, and fingers are being pointed. Murder charges dropped against Chicago men convicted as teens. Chicago Little League team facing punishment over racial incidents. Cubs clipped the Rockies for a 5th straight win. The White Sox open up a set at Busch Stadium against the Cardinals, and a windy and warm day ahead with sunshine and clouds. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
So disgraceful. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump calls the leak about the Russia probe he claims is a witch hunt. The special counsel reportedly has questions for him. The president tweets none of them on collusion, which he writes is a made-up phony crime, adding it would be very hard to obstruct justice for a crime that never happened. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the New York Times obtained a list of nearly 4 dozen questions special counsel Robert Mueller wants to ask President Trump. Among them, what did you think and what did you do in reaction to the news of the appointment of the special counsel? And how was this decision made to fire National Security Advisor Michael Flynn? Lawyers for President Trump and the special counsel's office have been negotiating a possible face-to-face interview with Mueller. Sources tell Fox News the president is skeptical but hasn't ruled it out. Dave.
Rachel, Israel's prime minister is again taking aim at Iran, telling Fox and Friends,
this tyrannical, anti-American regime should not have nuclear weapons.
Benjamin Netanyahu says he obtained thousands of documents Iran hid, showing it covered up a weapons program as it worked out a nuclear deal. He and President Trump both call terrible. The president may pull out of it later this month. Iran calls Netanyahu ridiculous and a liar and has warned the U.S. against withdrawing from the agreement. The father of one of the students murdered in the Florida high school shooting spree is going to court.
Andrew Pollock's 18-year-old daughter, Meadow, was a senior at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High. She was shot numerous times on Valentine's Day.
And Pollock's filed a wrongful death suit against the student gunman and a deputy.
Now resigns school resource officer Scott Peterson. The former deputy has been criticized for remaining outside the school building despite hearing gunshots. Pollock calls him a coward both in his lawsuit and on social media.
Fox's Eben Brown. 8 of the asylum seekers in the Central American caravan have been allowed into the country for processing. 140 others still waiting on the Mexican side of the border. 11 were arrested for entering the U.S. illegally. Fox News. Fair and balanced.
58 degrees, 7:02 is our time. On AM 560, The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Careful with the matches this afternoon in the grill this evening. National Weather Service posting a red flag warning for increased fire danger from just north of Bloomington Normal all the way to the western and southern Chicago suburbs and near the Wisconsin border. 2 are in custody following a hit-and-run crash. It involved a police car near UIC. Police say a white vehicle slammed into that squad early this morning near Halsted and Roosevelt, then took off westbound on I-290. Authorities then chased that vehicle again before curbing it near Congress Parkway in Michigan. A woman is in serious condition after being viciously attacked by 2 dogs on the south side. This witness tried to step in and stop the attack.
They mauled that woman some crazy. I mean, they were pulling, one was pulling one way and one was pulling her another way.
Both dogs eventually taken in by animal control. The Andrew High School prom at the Shed Aquarium last Friday left dozens of students more than a little green around the gills. AM 560's David Stewart has more.
About 90 students out of the 400 who attended ended up with flu-like symptoms, but several days later, it's not clear why. School officials are asking parents to tell them what the young people ate, what other activities there were, and when the symptoms first began. The aquarium says its food provider, Sodexo, is also investigating and keeping the city health department informed as well. But the aquarium says they're fairly sure the problem didn't start with them. And just as a precaution, the school is being thoroughly cleaned in case a virus was introduced there. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
The Chicago Little League baseball team is facing punishment over allegations they directed racial slurs and verbal abuse toward a Southwest Side team comprised of mostly Latino players. The Kennedy Park Little League has moved to discipline several players and a coach involved in separate incidents during a game Sunday between the Kennedy Park Cobras and West Lawn's Southwest Pride team. Cubs clipped the Rockies 3-2. Sox are in St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. The news a service of Staples. Staples can help your business stand out with custom printed signs, banners, and brochures. Now through June 2nd, spend $25 or more in-store for a chance to win $1,000 worth of print and marketing services. Visit staples.com/SMB week for rules. No purchase necessary. Must be 18 or older at Staples. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. And hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Your yard is not just a yard. It's a baseball diamond, a water park, a movie theater, and a grand banquet hall. Your yard is where memories are made, and you have the best seat in the house with the John Deere X350 Select Series tractor. Now equipped with the exclusive one-touch mulch control system, you can tell your clippings where to go, out the chute, or back into your lawn with just the push of a button. Nothing runs like family, and nothing runs like a Deere. Visit your local John Deere dealer to test drive one today.
Let's see here. Fire protection? Check. Uniforms, mats, and restroom products?
Check.
First aid cabinets and safety products?
Check.
Great! So it sounds like we're ready to go.
No. When I said check, I meant we still need to check on all those things.
Oh, just call Cintas. They can handle all of it. It's what they do.
Okay. Call Cintas. Check. Got it.
Oh, I'm ready! Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
7:06, and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Eastbound Reagan Tollway, we're now seeing delays from 31 to Eola and 83 to Roosevelt, where crash quickly cleared. Northbound Veterans Memorial still Boughton to the Reagan Tollway and Findlay to Roosevelt. Northbound Tri-State delays, 115th to 75th. Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Edensburg eastbound heavy starting at Waukegan Road, and it's 30 minutes Lake Cook Junction outbound 22. Kennedy, now 55 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 25 from Montrose, 28 in the Express. Outbound 44 minutes to the airport, the Eisenhower, an hour and 14 minutes 390 to downtown, 52 minutes from Mannheim, outbound 44 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 16 minutes 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 45 minutes. Ryan, 38 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, Bishopford, both 30 minutes, side to the merge. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's our meteorologist, Alex Robb.
Windy and warm today, sun and clouds around, high of 81. Tonight's breezy and warm with increasing amounts of clouds and a passing late night shower and a low of 64. Wednesday's cloudy and increasingly windy with a shower, thunderstorm, high 78. I'm Alexandra Rabb on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 60 at O'Hare, 59 along the lakefront. Next news, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Beautiful sunshine, a glorious day here in Chicago. Amy Jacobson here. Bruce Wolf.
Hello.
Hi, Bruce. Sitting in for Dan Proft, and you've been here on a busy news week, that's for sure.
Oh,
a lot going on in North Korea with Kim Jong-un and President Trump, and where they're going to have their meeting. President Trump saying yesterday that he wants to go straight into the lion's den.
There's something that I like about it because you're there. You're actually there, where if things work out, there's a great celebration to be had on the site.
Yeah, and, he wants to be there. I don't know if that's the best idea because there's really you're going to back out into South Korea. I don't know if it's a safety issue. They still haven't locked down a date. We're learning this morning that Kim Jong-un is excited about that idea of meeting in the DMZ.
Of course he
in
would.
The safe house there.
It's too close for comfort.
Yes.
He loves it. He's getting recognition. It's great, and he's going to get to keep his nuclear weapons.
Yes. When one person, what part of President Trump's visit to North Korea is also going to try and get the release of 3 Americans who are still being held captive there in North Korea. And one person who's pretty much our nation's top private diplomat is Reverend Jesse Jackson, and he joins us this morning on our Turnkey.pro answer line. Good morning, Reverend Jackson. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Well, I mean, I just want to remind people of what you've done in the past to help fellow Americans overseas. In 1983, you traveled to Syria to secure the release of a captured American pilot, Navy Lieutenant Robert Goodman. In June of 1984, you negotiated the release of 22 Americans who were being held in Cuba. In 1999, remember, during the Kosovo War, you were with Governor Blagojevich then, and you secured the release of 3 American POWs. Have you been planning on a trip to North Korea for some time, and when do you think that your plans will come to fruition?
We have been planning at the height of the crisis. We met with the North Korean ambassador, trying to get the release of Day, an American who was there. But also we met with South Korean ambassador. Because I believe that when you release prisoners, it sends a message, an opportunity for dialogue. And that's all that we were trying to do.
Reverend Jackson, we're having a hard time hearing you. Are you on a speakerphone? Or is there any way you
I'm off now.
Okay. Thank you so much. Can you repeat, because I couldn't understand what you were saying. Can you just repeat for us your efforts to try to go to North Korea?
Kenneth Bay in South North Korea. We're trying to get him and finally.
I'm trying not to laugh.
Cue the green eggs and ham tape from Saturday Night Live.
You do not like green eggs and ham? I do not like them.
That wasn't Amy's
Sam,
question.
I am. I could not, would not on a boat. I will not with a goat. I will not eat them in the rain. I will not eat them on a train. Not in the dark, not on a tree, not in a car. You let me be.
You better get the Cat in the Hat comes back, too, because we're having a hard time getting
I do not
Reverend
like
Jackson.
them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I will not eat them in a house. I do not like them with a mouth.
Who did the jibbity-jibbity rat-a-tat-tat imitation
I do not like them
Saturday
here
Night Live?
or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham.
What year was that? It's got to be in the mid-'90s.
It had to be, but it's amazing. I think we've reconnected with Reverend Jackson. Right. Hello, Reverend Jackson. How are you?
You're more than that. What a contrast.
I know.
Well, we had
to fill time till we reconnected with you. So as you were saying, you're third time's a charm, but you're planning on going to North Korea when?
Yeah, and we're not sure. We met with some Methodists and Presbyterian bishops. Believe it or not, there are some Christians in North Korea. There's been some openness to dialogue for some time. We thought that the back and forth name calling between President Trump and Kim Jong-un was just a disastrous confrontation that, with both their hands on the trigger finger, it could spell disaster. But one reason we must be concerned about Korea, among others, we lost so many Americans in that conflict. 3 million Koreans, North Koreans were killed. They burned virtually every town in North Korea. Half the human race is Asian, half of them are Chinese. So when there's instability in Asia, it affects the whole world in a very direct kind of way. And we think that these moves lately toward North and South Korea family reunion is a big deal, and it's very positive.
Reverend Jackson, I don't doubt your intent is good, but have you gotten the permission from the Trump administration to engage in these negotiations?
Well, I would not go as a representative of the Trump administration. we're going on a humanitarian mission.
Could I ask you this? Are you
and-
technically in violation of the Logan Act, which
No,
criminalizes?
no.
You're not in violation of the Logan Act?
No, we never. When we went to bring Americans home from Cuba, Yugoslavia, Iraq, the Gambia, Colombia, Cuba, we never were.
Well, but it does the Logan Act criminalize negotiation by unauthorized persons with foreign governments having a dispute with the United States?
We do not represent ourselves as the government, but as a humanitarian, and as I mentioned, medicines and citizens can appeal for the release of people, communications, which is perfectly within the law.
No, I don't know that it's within law. By the way, the Logan Act hasn't been prosecuted in the last couple of hundred years.
Not gonna
but the
pertain
thing
to
is,
this
wouldn't you
case.
agree that the Obama administration holdovers who went after Mike Flynn or whoever were being ridiculous in trying to do that? Because they could go after you. The administration could go after you right now for doing that.
Well, they could. I wish they wouldn't, because our intents are always noble. And if we can do that, there are several South Koreans held prisoner in North Korea. Several Americans are captive in North Korea. If he would release them, it would be a good gesture for all involved, so that no one could see harm in seeking the release of prisoners. I would not be trying to negotiate some business deal or some private deal or some governmental deal.
Well, I'm
no,
sure
he's just trying to free the 3 Americans that are still there, and then South Koreans.
Which is basically acting as an agent of the
No,
United
it's
States
not.
of America. Look, I'm not
He's done it
arguing.
in the
I think the
past.
Logan
He
Act is ridiculous, and I think the Obama administration
Well,
holdovers.
here's the thing, Reverend Jackson. I'm like you. I was very nervous at the tweeting that was going on between President Obama and then Kim Jong Un's. Whose button is bigger and all this. And I did think, oh my gosh, we might possibly have a nuclear war. But now things seem to have settled down. President Trump and Kim Jong Un are going to be meeting sometime this month, probably within the next 2 weeks. Does that give you any hope, or give you any?
Well,
does it calm you down?
It does give me hope. It does give me hope. The U.S. has such a heavy military investment in that area. Speaking of his having to denuclearize, we have so much infrastructure. We would have to cut back on as well. We have tremendous financial military investment in that area. I think that was got enough military power.
I think we need the green eggs and ham tape again.
I think
we've lost you, Reverend Jackson. Unfortunately.
He
there you go.
Immediately
there you go.
Went for it, and so when I thought that the Olympic gesture was the right gesture. The follow-up has just been good, because he now feels he will not be run over as Iraq and Libya was, and from a position of power he can negotiate trade relations. It's better to be discussing trade than discussing missiles.
Reverend Jackson, can I ask a quick question here? The NFL draft was held over the weekend, and a couple of years ago it was held in Chicago. And this was after Rahm Emanuel had quashed the Laquan McDonald video. And as you know, had people known, black voters especially, what was in that video, Rahm Emanuel probably would not have been elected a mayor of Chicago again. Why didn't you try to organize a boycott of the NFL draft in Chicago, get top-tier athletes not to show up? I mean, heck, the NBA didn't have its All-Star game in North Carolina because of a transgender bathroom issue. Aren't the civil rights of blacks equal to or greater than those of transgenders? Why didn't you try to organize a boycott back then?
Well, I can't do everything, plus I didn't see that as an effective way to address the situation. Just that simple, really.
Good. Who are you backing for the mayoral race? Is there any candidate? We know that there's about 7 right now that are going to be challenging Emanuel.
Very premature. Right now, we really are focused on we found out, that, amen, that the after almost 5,000 lynchings between 1880 and 1950, that we still don't have an federal anti-lynching law. That should be in the day Chicago Sun-Times article I wrote in today's paper. Secondly, that across the South, 4 million blacks aren't registered, and 4 million high school seniors aren't registered. We focus a lot on voter registration. And I'm trying to pull us together. We've been pulled so far apart that we've learned to survive. But we must live together. That's our mission. We must live together.
And speaking of living together, what do you think of Kanye West embracing President Trump?
Well, that's his choice.
Okay.
I have a different choice, but I respect this choice.
Well, who do the Democrats have on the bench that will challenge Trump in 2020? Is there any candidate that that could need some grooming or that has a potential to take down Trump?
It's premature for me to call names because it'd be like endorsing someone. I just don't think it's appropriate for me to do that now. I don't think that's my priority.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Reverend Jackson, for your time, and good luck.
Thank you, Reverend Jackson.
If and when you do travel to North Korea, and hopefully you can meet Kim Jong-un.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
That was a cluster. Weather's nice, though. Huh?
My question is, was I okay? Are you upset with me?
I'm not upset with you. Okay. It's over. What are you going to do?
I'm
sending
out a federal marshal to arrest him for violating the Logan Act, which nobody has prosecuted.
I'll give you the Logan Act.
Today, windy and very warm with sun and some clouds, high of 84. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy and warm, a late-night shower in spots, low of 64. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and becoming windier with a shower or thunderstorm. High is 78, low tomorrow at night, 65. Now with a check of traffic, here's Jim Telemonte.
Thank you, Bruce. And Amy, Eden's inbound. Delay start at Devon. It's 28 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. Out on 26 Kennedy. Now 55 minutes. So Hare to downtown. The express lanes take a little longer. Outbound, it's 44 minutes to the airport. Eisenhower. An hour and 8 minutes, 390 to downtown. 48 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 44 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 16 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 45 minutes, crash at First Avenue in the left lane. Ryan, 38 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State slow, 115th to 75th. From the Stevenson to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Reagan Tollway slow, 31 to Eola, and jammed Highland to the Tri-State after a crash. Northbound Veterans Memorial slow Boughton most of the way to Roosevelt, and Army Trail to 290. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Remember when you were a kid and summer camp wasn't exactly something you look forward to? I mean, it was okay, but just not that many different things to do. It's time to put some excitement into summer camp. Check out Dangerous Camp for Boys and over 20 other summer day camps from Northridge Prep. Dangerous Camp is dangerously fun, not unsafe, and is designed to get your boys off their iPads, iPhones, and video games this summer. And get them throwing water balloons, playing games, and learning the meaning of outdoor adventure. Remember that? Northridge Prep, the all-boys school in Niles, instills traditional values you hold as parents. Their summer programs for boys in grades 1 through 8 combine fun, adventure, and character growth. There's basketball camps led by a former NCAA Division I coach and varsity players, battles of the Civil War, bugs and botany, intro to musical improv, and more. Even a robotics camp where campers learn to build, pilot, and code their own robots. Get your son off the couch and into the outdoors and have fun this summer. Learn more and register online at northridgeprep.org. northridgeprep.org.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Kevin Bastuga, co-founder of Signature Bank. If you get the feeling your deposits don't matter to your bank, then maybe you're not with the right bank. At Signature Bank, your deposits matter to us as much as your business loans. Signature provides unmatched banking expertise, custom financial solutions, and the industry's best technology to closely held Chicagoland businesses. Whether your business is looking for a deposit relationship or needs a ready source for financing, Signature Bank is the right bank for you. Call us today to see how Signature Bank can help your business grow and thrive.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. I'm an inquisitive sort. I want to understand the left, but I have questions. When it comes to your concern that law enforcers not be above the law, is that just for beat cops, or does it extend to senior level officials at the nation's most powerful law enforcement agency? I ask because I haven't heard the date announced for the Andy McCabe protests. When it comes to treating the Constitution like an Asian buffet, are there limits to the application of the sanctuary designation? I ask because Effingham County, Illinois, voted to make their jurisdiction a sanctuary county for Second Amendment rights to protect the rights of their residents to protect themselves. I understand you to be stalwart defenders of a free press now. Could you share your conversion story? I ask because of your silence when Obama Attorney General Eric Holder surveilled and subpoenaed Fox News reporter James Rosen, and when Patrick Fitzgerald imprisoned New York Times reporter Judith Miller in the Scooter Libby case, to cite but just two examples. Thank you in advance for helping me distinguish your virtue from your virtue signal.
AM 560, The Answer.
Still recovering.
Jibbit-rat-a-tat-tat.
Still recovering from our attempted interview.
We got some questions.
Reverend Josie Jack. Yeah, but Ralph from Rantoul wanted us to ask more. Hi, Ralph.
Right. I love the good cop, bad cop routine. Hey, I've got a couple of suggestions for you. If you two are ever together again, here's the next question suggestions. Bruce, ask him, Reverend Jackson, although you're not really a reverend, who's your next shakedown target group? Okay? And then Amy, you can ask him, hey, when you go to Korea, are you going to take moon pies?
See, the problem, Ralph, is Amy would never have me on the show again if I didn't show respect to Jesse Jackson. Come on. Let's you and I fight right now.
Do you want to fight?
Yeah, let's fight.
Cage match.
Yeah, let's do it.
Thanks, Ralph.
No fighting.
Yeah, nobody
Make
wants.
love, not war.
Oh, okay. All right, thanks,
Thank
Ralph.
you, Ralph. Great question.
Yes, appreciate it. Tomorrow marks the 7th anniversary since the killing of Osama bin Laden.
Which Bill Daley did. You see him in the Situation Room? He was in the Situation Room and it was with his arms folded. That was Bill Daley's call. No question about it. And Hillary's call.
Hillary?
Too. Yeah.
With her hand over her mouth. And Barack Obama sitting wearing his members only jacket, sitting there like he's at the junior table just getting called up to the big people table.
They were almost as impressive as Kiefer Sutherland on Designated Survivor when he does that.
Yes.
Yeah. Very, very.
Well,
by the way.
But you know what? That was probably one of President Obama's greatest accomplishments was
tell me about it.
Murdering Osama bin Laden.
The whole thing was GM is still alive and Osama bin Laden is dead. That's what they ran on. And, of course, that's why, they had to cover up Benghazi. Of course they had, because it turns out Al-Qaeda was still around, and they didn't want to admit it. Didn't fit the narrative.
But one thing I remember is, because all the, anchors, everybody had to scramble to get into work that day, because it was the biggest story in decades. And John King, I think he was at a birthday party or something beforehand, because he had a little saucy sauce on the breath, if you know what I mean.
Wolf, I would just want to reiterate, I'm told it was a United States asset that killed Osama bin Laden based on actionable U.S. intelligence. The President of the United States will announce that just moments from now. As you noted, the statement has been delayed several times, in part because the administration is trying to notify not only key members of the United States Congress, other key members of the national security apparatus, also trying to notify world leaders and trying to make certain that U.S. diplomatic and military operations around the world, and this was put in place hours ago, well before we have been told of this information, it has been spread around the system, if you will, to go on a higher state of alert, just in case there is some sort of retaliatory action by either those directly involved in al-Qaeda or sympathizers of Osama bin Laden. So everything is being put on a heightened state of alert.
Was he reporting from poolside with you at your vacation? Yeah.
No.
That was pretty good for a guy who couldn't walk a straight line.
I mean, it was rough to watch. I felt like calling in and saying, could you have him go back to bed? Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, conservatism
finally
returns.
A conservative. Oh, my God. I got to take a shower from this.
And Benjamin Netanyahu has a PowerPoint presentation claiming Iran lied. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Say good morning once again to Mike Scott.
58 degrees. Skies are sunny right now. Federal prosecutors say they will announce this morning whether they will seek the death penalty for the man accused of killing 5 and wounding 6 at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. In January of 2017, 28-year-old Esteban Santiago allegedly began that shooting after retrieving a handgun from checked baggage and loading it in a bathroom. Several are feared dead after a high-rise building in Brazil collapsed in flames. One person confirmed dead at the tower in Sao Paulo this morning. 200 firefighters continue to battle that blaze. Witnesses say they heard dozens screaming for help before that building fell. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is supporting Israel's claims Iran violated the 2015 nuclear deal. The Justice Department is charging 11 members of a migrant caravan with illegally entering the U.S. The group had been traveling by bus, train, and even some on foot for about a month, preparing to claim asylum. 2 are in custody in Chicago following a hit-and-run crash involving a police car near UIC. In Chicago, police say the white vehicle slammed into a squad early this morning near Halstead Street and Roosevelt Road. An investigation continues after a group of Tinley Park High School students who attended prom last week at Chicago's Shed Aquarium fell ill. The number is around 90 from Andrew High School. Illinois senior U.S. Senator says the federal government will pay for most of the cost to build a new veterans home in Quincy, about 65%, but the state of Illinois must act first. A Lisle woman accused of photocopying nominating petitions in her effort to run for the College of DuPage board is pleading guilty to forgery and perjury. Rafat Wahid will be required to enter the DuPage County diversion program. If she completes that successfully, the felony convictions will not be imposed and the charges will be dropped. Cubs hold on to clip the Rockies 3-2 in the opener of a 3-game series at Wrigley. White Sox open up a 2-game set against the Cardinals at Busch. Boston connects on 17 threes in a 117-101 NBA playoff win over Philadelphia. The news service of Staples. Staples knows running out of ink is no way to do business. Help keep your business working and your printers printing. Go to Staples for a huge selection of ink and toner and find your ink in stock every time and at a low price every day, so you can meet every deadline. Staples, it's pro time. 7:32, we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains the left's mind.
How do they reconcile their self-image as intellectually open with their practice of intellectually being closed? They really believe that there is no other way to approach life than a left-wing way. So you are not being intellectually closed by not allowing a conservative to speak.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
7:34. Let's get an update on that morning ride to work. And we do that in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Very latest now with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. It's heavy on the inbound Kennedy. Delays from Harlem to the Burn Circle. It is now an hour and 2 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 32 minutes from Montrose, 34 in the Express. Outbound 25 minutes to Montrose and 44 to the airport. Eden's 24 minutes, Lake Cook Junction, outbound 29. Eisenhower, an hour and 10 minutes, 390 to downtown. 52 minutes from Manheim, outbound 50, 390. Stevenson, northbound I-55 first jam, 126 to Weber, where there's a crash in the two left lanes. Then it's an hour and 16 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan from 95th to downtown is 50 minutes now. Northbound Tri-State has delays, 115th, much of the way to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge, southbound bottled up, the Adams Tollway to the bridge. Southbound Veterans Memorial still Belton most of the way to Roosevelt, Army Trail to 290. Traffic service of Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage is simple. You can understand the details. Be sure you're getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. Visit rocketmortgage.com today. Licensed in all 50 states. Equal housing lender. MLS number 3030. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Windy, warm, sun and clouds. Summer-like high of 84. Cloudy, breezy, warm, a late night shower. We certainly need the rain. Low 64. Windy, rain tomorrow. High 78, maybe a thunderstorm. And tomorrow night, a low of 65. Currently 61. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity. Right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Ow! Amy Jacobson, Bruce Wolf, in for Dan Proft. Did you see the display yesterday? Benjamin Netanyahu, well, he did his homework alongside a projector and with mounds of evidence that was smuggled out of Iran. They claim, Israel's prime minister claims that Iran lied.
Here's a map of 5 potential locations for a nuclear test in eastern Iran. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have many, many more such documents. And 5th, integrating nuclear weapons on missiles.
And all 3 major U.S. cable networks ran his presentation, because that's what it was. But he was pointing to an audience of one, and that is President Trump.
Right. And he said Iran lied big time. See, I would have said bigly, because the audience of one, Donald Trump.
Yes.
He had these gigantic, I think he said they had the word lied in like.
He did.
In like 500
no,
points.
Iran lied.
Times New Roman. You know, it was really.
Well, was it
very
effective?
easy? Even I could understand it.
Let's begin there with Zelena Zito, Washington Examiner reporter, New York Post columnist, and CNN contributor. Good morning, Zelena. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. So did you watch the presentation yesterday by Benjamin Netanyahu?
I did not watch it live. I was traveling, but I did see the excerpts afterwards, and certainly it appeared to me that it was a powerful moment. And you're absolutely right. That was to an audience of one, but it's also to the American people, just to sort of underscore how they view the behavior of Iran.
So, Selena, here's the problem I have. It's tough for me to wrap my head around this. I think the argument goes, the Iranians said they never had a nuclear weapons program, so they were lying. But apparently the Obama administration said, oh, well, we know they're lying. So That's why we came up with the deal. So it's just tough to deal with that when you accuse somebody of lying, but you know they're lying, which is why you have the deal.
And so this is why people have such a mistrust with government and institutions and expertise, because the there is not really the there, it's the lie there. And you sort of accept, if you're part of these larger institutions, when the starting point is, oh yeah, we know you're lying, it's kind of hard for us as the American people, as we consume this and think, well, geez, where do we start believing anybody? Right? And then when we start to wonder that, we wonder, well, what's the scope of our safety at this point? If these are the kind of negotiating terms that are completely acceptable to Washington.
Well, in a few days, President Trump's going to have to make up his mind on what to do with the Iran nuclear deal. Any inside information or any of your sources giving you a hint as to what he will do?
Well, my sources tend to be people that are out in the country and not in D.C., but I will say, based on President Trump's sort of past behavior, so you look at people's pattern of behavior to look for clues as to how they respond to things like this, and I suspect that you will see a massaging of the of what happens with the Iran deal with some strong words. And likely some warnings that things going forward are going to continue to change and evolve. So I'm looking for something along that order.
Okay. Zelena, turning to something that we can all understand and have fun with, the White House Correspondents' Dinner. So Michelle Wolf, was she insulting Sarah Huckabee Sanders' physical appearance? Because I've been getting into debates with people over this. I think she did, but other people say, oh, no, when you talk about the Handmaid's Tale woman, that's just a political thing. It's not about the fact that she's rotund. How did you take it?
Well, I was there.
Oh.
And, look, there were very few people in that room, whether you like the press corps or not, that were comfortable at all with the bulk of that routine or skit, or I'm not sure what the term is used to describe that, but in particular with Sarah Huckabee Sanders sitting there. Of course she was insulting her. And the people that are arguing against that, I would challenge them to be put in the same position.
No, but here's what I'm asking, Zelena. Here's what I'm asking. And you can understand, a certain amount of insults you have to take that, but were they about her physical appearance? Yes. And see, Maggie Haberman said that too. But then of the New York Times. But then you get other people who are saying, "Oh no, it wasn't physical at all. It was all political." Now, how can people hear the same thing and interpret it differently?
Well, I mean, it's America. We all see, and we have a tendency of doing that. No. And you all come from your perspective, but most importantly, is how it. I mean, every woman that I talked to was like, oh my God, that was awful. That was so insulting about her appearance. So I'm going to go with the bulk of women, including myself. If that was me, I would have been incredibly insulted.
Now, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Okay, you're a woman. I mean, are we having a double standard? I'll play the devil's advocate now. I mean, aren't men supposed to take this kind of grief about their appearance?
Oh,
Why can't a woman take it?
No, I'm just saying that the insults were specifically aimed at female parts and female traits in their appearances. If the flip was done with the same kind of insult as a man for their traits and their appearances, absolutely. I don't care if you're a man or a woman or a cat or a dog. I mean, when people insult you and your appearance, there's a way to do it and singe, and then there's a way to do it, and then you just club someone over the head with it.
Right.
And she was doing some serious clubbing.
Well, Michelle Wolf she spoke with Fresh Air on NPR, and she said that people weren't laughing at her jokes because they didn't want to seem partisan on camera.
No.
Which, no, because you've been to these
No.
White House Correspondents' Dinners before. It looked like you could cut the tension with a knife. And
Oh, I was sitting. I took as my guest Democratic Senator Bob Casey and his wife Therese, and we were incredibly uncomfortable. And I don't think this has anything to do with partisanship, and everything to do with being a human, and having a little, compassion and empathy. You try to imagine yourself. I mean, Huckabee Sanders sat on the dais with grace. She didn't flinch.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of other people could do that. That takes a lot of sort of steely willpower.
I would have started crying. I seriously wouldn't have been able to take it.
Trust me, Bruce would have started crying.
Here's the thing, and Kyle Smith mentioned this in National Review yesterday. This White House Correspondents' Dinner during the Obama years, it certainly wasn't ripping the physical appearance of anybody in the Obama administration. It was all about how bad Fox News is. Back, with George Bush, it's all, he has to take this grief. Trump decides, I'm not going to take the grief. And that's what's the main thing. It's so partisan in the main, although there was one exception when Don Imus did rip Bill Clinton back, at the turn of the century. But in the main, it's Democrats. It's like a Colbert fest, and
it needs to end. And that's the thing. Somebody was suggesting maybe a luncheon instead of this big prom.
Well, or have dueling comedians.
No, it's fun. It's fun to get dressed up. I mean, most of the time, most of us spend our time, or a lot of us do, or at least I do, trudging across the country and living not at home and dressed not in beautiful gowns. And so it's nice to have one night to celebrate journalism. But there's no need for, I don't think journalists, in my personal opinion, we don't need Hollywood to be cool. We can be cool in our own accomplishments.
Tell that to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, because they invited all these celebrities over the years so they could rub elbows with the celebs. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's fine to have them there, but I don't think they need to speak.
Right.
Why do they need to speak? There's such great journalists out there that have incredible stories to tell. People that, have done great work on poverty, on the water crisis in Flint, have traveled and put their lives in danger in the Middle East. Have someone like that talk.
Yeah, but nobody will watch it on cable.
That's compelling. That reminds people of the importance of our work.
Wow. This month, because it is May 1st, President Trump is going to be meeting with Kim Jong-un. He said yesterday, he tweeted it first and then said yesterday that the DMZ, the Peace House, the Freedom House on the border of North and South Korea, would be more representative, important, and lasting site than a third-party country. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, the possibility exists, right? I mean, we're in the moment of possibilities. But I'm a paid skeptic, so I'm skeptical of anything because anything can go wrong. But there's a possibility that something incredible happens, and we need to explore that possibility and hope that is what the outcome is.
Yep, and then he would win the Nobel Peace Prize. All right, well, thank you so much. We're going to have to leave it there. Zelena Zito, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
Washington Examiner reporter, New York Post columnist, and CNN contributor. She joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up, the perfect 5K for Dan Proft and all you novice runners. But first, here's your forecast.
I wish we'd played her theme song. You know her thing. I am Zelena Zito. Anyway, today, windy and very warm with sun and some clouds, high of 84. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy, and warm. A late
so
night
bad
shower and
you
spots,
can do much better.
Low of 64.
Why don't you sing the forecast?
Mostly cloudy and becoming windier with a shower or thunderstorm.
When?
A high of 78. Low tomorrow night 65. Ay.
No llores.
I am Zelena Zito.
You should throw it to traffic.
Here is Jim Motellamante.
Wow, that's holding a note. Thanks, Bruce and Amy. Good morning. On I-55 northbound, we've got a long jam from 126 to Weber. A crash in the two left lanes there, and when you get past that, it's still an hour and 20 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive, and outbound it's an hour thanks to a crash at First Avenue. Aiden's 24 minutes, Lake Hook to the junction, outbound 29. Kennedy, an hour and 2 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 44 minutes. The Ike, an hour and 10 minutes, 390 to the Circle, outbound 50 minutes. The Ryan, 50 minutes, 95th to downtown. 57, 34 minutes, I-80 to the ride. Bishop Ford, 47 minutes, 80-94 to the merge. The tollways are heavy, too. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Americans in every tax bracket got a tax cut thanks to the tax bill signed into law last year. The economy is growing, wages are rising, and Americans are feeling better about the future. And you've got more money to spend on what's important to you and your priorities. It is your money, after all, but Democrats in Congress who voted against the tax cuts are promising to raise your taxes if they win in November. They want to take your money back to spend on their priorities. Only you can stop them. To find out how much more of your money you get to keep instead of sending it to Washington, D.C., go to taxcutswork.com now. There's an easy-to-use calculator. It'll tell you how much money the new tax cuts are saving you this year. Check your savings at taxcutswork.com and then sign a letter to Congress telling them to keep their hands off your tax cut savings. Go to taxcutswork.com. Because the money you're saving is yours. Go to taxcutswork.com. Check your savings and let Congress know you want to keep your savings.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Todd, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Maybe I should switch to Liberty Mutual.
Visit us online to... Hey, stop echoing.
Sorry.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
It's not easy being a mom, but Mike Chrysler Pacifica makes soccer practice a little more fun. I can binge all my shows with the available Uconnect Theater, open the Stow and Go seating to grab my hidden romance novel, or just jam out to the radio.
Hey, Mom, what was that song?
Huh? What song? I didn't hear a song.
Chrysler Pacifica. It's loaded with attitude. Chrysler is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Dave Geiselhart, president and owner of Home Trust Mortgage and customer of Signature Bank. When the large banks turned away from the mortgage lending industry during the financial crisis, I turned to locally owned Signature Bank. Signature Bank stepped in and helped me expand our business at a time when the larger banks wouldn't. Today, I'm proud to say Home Trust Mortgage has been able to expand our business in Illinois and the Great Lakes region. We couldn't have done that without the help of Signature Bank. Signature Bank truly helps Chicago businesses like mine grow and thrive. That's why we also became personal customers and shareholders of Signature Bank, Chicago's business bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that use Balance of Nature as well.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. I take Balance of Nature because I know, I've seen it in my lab, and I know that it works. I've seen the immune response increase, I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection. And that, to me, as a scientist, rings so true.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
My name is Todd. I am a firefighter, paramedic. I'm a husband, I'm a dad, and I am no longer suffering from depression. With depression, you don't want to make friends. You just want to be alone. And it was a way of life for me. I have been seeing a psychologist for several years and not really getting anywhere. I've tried 11 different medications, which some of the side effects that I experienced were pretty severe. I finally reached out for help myself. It's very satisfying to know that something works.
HPR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee offer TMS therapy. In just a few weeks, you can change your life, and it's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare. You can make real progress in the battle with depression, cure or remission. Get a free consultation. 800-604-0208. 800-604-0208. HPR centers. Go to endmydepression.com. End your depression.
Ever hire a plumber at an odd time for an emergency? The hourly rate could send you into cardiac arrest. It'd be nice to have someone on call 24/7 for those once every few year emergencies, but probably not necessary. Now, your business is IT? That's a completely different story. The potential for problems if your IT system isn't properly maintained could be more than those once every few year plumbing backups. For peace of mind, turn to Turnkey IT. Their monthly support contracts will keep your business's computer systems online and running well. No more waiting for an hourly IT tech to get back to you and charging you an enormous after-hours rate. The certified pros at Turnkey will keep your business's computer system online with unlimited on-site and remote support. And for a limited time, you can save up to $500 a month on a support contract, plus unlimited cloud backup at no cost. Get the secure feeling your business backbone is supported by Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Todd, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Maybe I should switch to Liberty Mutual.
Visit us online to... Hey, stop echoing.
Sorry.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
It's not easy being a mom. The Mike Chrysler Pacifica makes soccer practice a little more fun. I can binge all my shows with the available Uconnect Theater, open the stow-and-go seating to grab my hidden romance novel, or just jam out to the radio.
Hey, Mom, what was that song?
Huh? What song? I didn't hear a song.
Chrysler Pacifica. It's loaded with attitude. Chrysler is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
AM 560. The Answer.
All right, let's squeeze in a couple calls real quick. Jim joins us from somewhere.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
The reason your guest didn't like what Michelle Wolf had to say wasn't because it was mean. If that was the issue, she wouldn't like the entire Trump administration. What she didn't like about it is that Michelle Wolf performed for people at home instead of the people in the room and called every single person in the room out on all their crap. She didn't like the fact that she called out how chummy everyone is together, called out the media profiting from Trump.
She did that, Jim, but that gets lost in all the physical insults about Sarah Huckabee Sanders. It does.
Hey, Bruce, rattle them off. Tell me all the physical insults about.
Well, first of all, like the day before, she said she
finally
finally got to go to the prom. Oh, that's a joke against fat girls who don't get to go to the prom.
No,
she called her a
about her
gym
being a
teacher.
mean liar.
She compared her to being a gym teacher. You know what gym teachers are? The stereotype of
the
female
ones that
gym
Blaine
teachers.
are hot.
They're butch. They're butch.
You don't like that she called everyone out. Ted Kennedy joke, Al Franken joke, Democrat jokes. They were all there, and you heard them all. But you don't want to talk about that.
Ted
You
Kennedy
wanna
and
talk
Al
about the
Franken
fact
are persona non grata. She doesn't point out, the liberals that
She did
are still
tell those
extant.
jokes, but she didn't rip on their physical
Look,
appearance.
I like this joke that
She
she
didn't
had.
rip on anyone's physical appearance.
She did rip
if
on.
you think that's ripping on someone's
So
physical
Zelena
appearance,
Zito and Maggie
you support
Haberman. But
Donald Trump,
what you're saying is that
if you
Zelena
support
Zito
Trump
and Maggie
you think that
Haberman
was
are
mean,
sensitive broads who can't take a joke. That's what you're saying, right?
I'm saying that you are having fake, genteel, fainting couch nonsense, and you don't believe it.
If you say that a girl finally gets to go to the prom, you're saying that she's a fat slob who was never invited to the prom. That's what you're saying. So stop pretending,
if you
Jim.
support Donald
Stop
Trump
pretending.
And you think that was mean,
Okay.
if you support Donald Trump and you think that was too mean,
Yeah,
you
Donald
are
Trump.
a
No, Donald
hypocrite
Trump.
and a
yeah.
BSer.
Two
No,
wrongs
Donald
don't
Trump
make
is
a
very
reverend
harsh.
right, Jim.
All right. Thanks, Jim, for
Thank
the
you,
phone
Jim.
call.
Appreciate
and
it.
for
Love
listening
you.
to the show. Everyone's good. And quickly, John in Mundelein. Hi, John.
Yeah, well, you know what? I have to echo the sentiments of the last caller.
course
There's
you did.
An immeasurable amount of hypocrisy in Bruce Wolf pretending he's all outraged about a comment on a woman's appearance on the radio station that features Dan Proft talking about Hillary Clinton and the Kankles Caucus. Or how about Sean from Elmwood Park, who can only describe any Democratic woman as a flannel shirt wearing
Or
bulldog.
John
If you have a
Stewart.
problem-
John Stewart, who said that Hillary Clinton is where boners go to die. That's John Stewart of The Daily Show.
Where's your outrage at Dan Proft? Where is it? Where's your outrage at Sean?
I have no problems with Family Guy jokes, but just administer them equally.
Got to go. Thanks for the phone call. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, modesty ponchos at prom. But first, here's Mike Scott.
The special counsel has questions. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. About 4 dozen of them that Robert Mueller wants to ask President Trump. The New York Times reports some probe FBI Director James Comey's firing. Others want to know about ties to Russia, and many delve into possible obstruction of justice. President Trump reacted on Twitter. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, President Trump called the Times story a disgraceful leak, as he again referred to the Russia probe as a witch hunt. He said collusion is a phony crime and that it would seem very hard to obstruct justice for a crime that never happened. The president also tweeted the investigation began with illegally leaked classified information, which may be a reference to personal memos that former FBI Director James Comey said he gave to a friend in hopes a special counsel would be appointed. Dave.
Rachel, the U.S. has verified documents from Iran Israel obtained purporting to show the Iranians were building a weapons program and hid that while working out the nuclear deal with the U.S. and our allies. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told Fox and Friends.
So they're trying to bamboozle the entire world, and I'm very glad that President Trump has said, well, enough of that.
The president may withdraw from the deal later this month. Iran has warned against that and calls Netanyahu a liar and ridiculous. More than 100 migrants in that Central American caravan are still waiting at the Mexican border, hoping to be allowed into the U.S., seeking asylum. Activists say 8 have been let in for processing.
Are they escaping fear and persecution? Yes, some are. But I also know that many aren't. Many are taking advantage of a system with loopholes in it.
That's Acting Director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement Thomas Homan, who will retire next month. A wildfire keeps torching north central Arizona. It's burned 14 square miles so far, destroying an estimated 30 buildings. This man's one of the hundreds who've evacuated in Coconino County and fears the worst.
I'm just kind of numb really right now. I mean, the reality will probably kick in after we go down there and look at it and have to start cleaning it up.
More than 500 firefighters are battling the flames. Fox News, fair and balanced.
61 degrees in Chicago, 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. Here are the stories we're following on WIND Chicago. 2 are in custody following a hit-and-run crash involving a police car near UIC in Chicago. It happened early this morning near Halstead and Roosevelt Road. A woman is in serious condition. She was viciously attacked by 2 dogs on Chicago's South Side near 65th and Evans. Witness Gregory Millette tried to step in and stop the attack.
They mauled that woman some crazy. I mean, they were pulling, one was pulling one way and one was pulling her another way.
Both dogs were eventually taken by animal control. An investigation is underway after a group of Tinley Park High School students who attended prom last week at Chicago's Shed Aquarium fell ill. More than 90 students from Andrew High School reported symptoms consistent with norovirus. The Shed and its food service provider Sodexo do not believe there are any safety concerns right now related to food or drink. Elgin police identifying 2 victims of a deadly weekend shooting, 26-year-old Mark McDaniel and 29-year-old Raymond Dyson were gunned down in the first block of Longwood Place. There are 2 persons of interest in custody. Meantime, authorities are revealing more information about the woman who was shot and killed by an Elgin police officer along I-90 in March. A report issued by the Cook County ME's office says the officer shot DeCynthia Clements 3 times. Toxicology found that Clements had massive amounts of cocaine and a non-deadly amount of carbon monoxide in her bloodstream. Cubs over the Rockies 3-2. White Sox open up a series with the Cardinals at Busch. At 8:03, it's time for the AM 560 Business Beat. With the latest this morning from Fox Business, here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, AutoNation was selling more cars in the recent quarter. It made more money than a year ago. Its quarter came in as expected. WhatsApp founder Jan Koum is leaving Facebook. Koum sold his business to Facebook in 2014 for more than $16 billion. He's saying he's taking time off to do things he enjoys outside of technology. Apple reports earnings after the Wall Street closed today. The parent company of Chili's and Maggiano's, Brinker International, is reporting weaker sales, though its business was stronger than expected. It's predicting a small increase in sales of 1% or less this year. Chipotle Mexican Grill is starting nationwide delivery in a partnership with DoorDash. More than half of its 2,400 restaurants will be included in the deal. The Dow was down 148 yesterday, NASDAQ down 53, S&P dropped 21. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
Fox Business is a service of turnkey.pro, and a check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity says we will not see the end of the attacks on Trump.
It just is so corrupt. It is such a double standard, and it is so obnoxious on so many different levels, but it's never going to go away, because the mission, when you really look at it, has been to never let Trump get elected, and then from the day he was elected to undermine Donald Trump.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Your yard is not just a yard. It's a baseball diamond, a water park, a movie theater, and a grand banquet hall. Your yard is where memories are made, and you have the best seat in the house with the John Deere X350 Select Series tractor. Now equipped with the exclusive one-touch mulch control system, you can tell your clippings where to go, out the chute, or back into your lawn with just the push of a button. Nothing runs like family, and nothing runs like a Deere. Visit your local John Deere dealer to test drive one today.
Hi, I'm Darla from Cintas.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. We have so much to do. I need fire extinguishers, right?
We'll place them for you and be out for regular inspection.
Great. And what about my new hires?
We'll get them into uniforms and keep them looking sharp.
What about this first aid cabinet?
Fully stocked.
It wasn't this morning.
It is now. And so are the restrooms.
Wow, Cintas really seems to know what we need.
You said it.
Oh, I'm ready!
Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
8:06. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Southbound Tri-State, we're seeing delays from 132 to 176, and then from the Adams Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge, northbound heavy 115th to 75th, from the Stevenson to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. But Adams Tollway stop and go lead to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway 31 to 355. Northbound Veterans Memorial from I-55 most of the way to St. Charles. The Army Trail toll to 290. Southbound 53's bottled up. Randy Kirchhoff. Eden's 20 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 31. Kennedy 58 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. The Ike an hour and 16 minutes. 390 to downtown. Stevenson an hour and 16 minutes. 355 to the drive. Still a big jam to the south. Renwick to Weber due to a collision. The Ryan 50 minutes. 95th to the Loop. Traffic service of Staples. Staples knows running out of ink is no way to do business. Help keep your business working and your printers printing. Go to Staples for a huge selection of ink and toner and find your ink in stock every time at a low price every day. So you can meet every deadline. Staples. Pro time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's meteorologist Alexander Rabb.
Windy and very warm today with sun and some clouds and a high of 81. Tonight's breezy and warm with increasing amounts of clouds and a passing late night shower and a low of 64. Tomorrow's mostly cloudy and increasingly windy with a shower thunderstorm around high 78. I'm Alex Rabb on AM 560, The Answer.
63 at O'Hare, 62 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
We're having so much fun here. Where does the time go?
I'm so glad we've had this time together.
Yes, Bruce Wolf filling in for Dan Proft, who should be back tomorrow. I think he's ending his bromance with Sean from Elmwood Park soon. They're on a mancation together, you know. They went fishing and golfing and smoking cigars, and he should be back here tomorrow.
There's a rebuttable presumption that there's something untoward about that.
Well, you know, I mean,
but we should talk. We're all just switching partners here. Like
exactly.
Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice.
Right.
I love it.
That's the hashtag I put in the hashtag switching partners. So fun, but it's not cheating if you know about it. Prom season, and you know, nothing lights up the phone more than prom season.
Well, all the kids want advice.
Yes, exactly.
How much should I pay for a tux?
Yes,
I paid $25 back in 1971 or something like that.
Who did you go to prom with? Oh, come on.
She's dead now.
Yeah, she died. Oh, I'm so sorry. When did she die?
A few years
Having
ago.
a catered dinner at the Shed Aquarium? What happened?
That's what happened. Let's quickly pivot to the Shed Aquarium.
No, what happened to her?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't lost contact with her. So
maybe she died from a broken heart. But in Michigan at Dearborn Catholic High School, prom's this weekend, and they're handing out what's called modesty ponchos by the school to wear over your dresses. See that right there? Modesty ponchos.
Then why don't you just get a modest dress?
Well, the students at Divine Child High School, whatever you call it, say they're being shamed by their own administration before they even walk in the door for prom. So this is hanging in the office right now that says if you're not dressed appropriately enough by the school standards, then they'll be handed these modesty ponchos to wear over their dresses.
Why can't you just say, leave 6 inches for the Holy Ghost? I mean, that's what we used to do at Jewish day school. Remember that used to be the rule among the Catholics.
312-642-5600 is the turnkey.pro enter line. 64636, type in DA, then a comment. So an anonymous student called Fox 2 in Detroit and said that teachers are going to determine whether what they're wearing is compliant or not when they walk in the door. A lot of kids think the school has gone too far because this is their prom night. This is their freedom of expression.
What do they wear nowadays? It's been a long time since I even visited a high school. I used to go to like football games on Friday nights because my daughter was in the band, and it looked all the girls to me were dressed like prostitutes. It was like 10,000 bra straps that you saw. I couldn't believe what they were showing.
They're still wearing that. My niece went to prom last weekend, and I mean she was appropriate, but yeah, they have the low plunging necklines, you know, down to almost their belly buttons. And they some wear the bell-shaped dresses, some wear pencil. I mean, it's just a variety of things you can wear. Some girls wear tuxedos, believe it or not. That's a good look, too.
So are those the ones who become gym teachers or what?
No.
Oh, okay.
They're having a fashion statement.
I see.
So the school already requires students and parents to sign off on a detailed agreement of dress guidelines for the dance. But the poncho is an add-on that theology teacher Mary Pat O'Malley came up with. She says,
Sister Mary Pat O'Malley.
Sister Mary.
Shut up! Excuse me.
She says the school put the ponchos on the mannequins in the hallway to give girls enough time to get a dress that fits their parameters.
Is this a Catholic school?
That's the thing. It's not a public school. So I guess the Catholics could do what they want and shame whoever
Do they have
want.
sex education in Catholic schools? Like my friends who went to Catholic school years ago had, where they were told that the wife, when you get married, the woman has to pay the marital debt, quote unquote, the marital debt. Yes, that's what they call it.
That's
I
how
mean,
they-
there's so much luster attached to that.
Wow.
If you call it the marital debt, that's what the Catholics learned, I understand. I don't know. I'm not Catholic.
What did you learn in your Jewish school?
Feel guilty and awful that you're even
That you're even thinking about it.
Yes.
You
yes.
bad
Terrible.
person.
Yeah.
So some are. So O'Malley and the high school principal says parents have not complained yet, but one parent agreed with the student that came forward that this is a method of shaming and degrading females. You know, this is the way that
They should have
one
a
time of the year.
Scarlet A sewn on their dresses, before they walk in. Yeah, no question about
At least they might have a meal that's not tainted
Oh,
or
right.
norovirus, because at the Andrews High School in Tinley Park over the weekend, people got sick. This is what they were feeling.
Real achy in your arms, your legs, whole body. Kind of feel like you're getting run over by a truck if it's really bad.
That's the doctor who had to deal with students because apparently they had a catered meal at the Shedd Aquarium.
Wait. Stop, bury the lead. Their prom was at the Shedd Aquarium?
I know.
Maybe they all ate the fish at the Shedd Aquarium. All those rare fish were eaten. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but
No. This is what it's the norovirus. It's something that you get on a cruise ship when people are in close contact. This makes me never want to eat at a buffet style place or even at a restaurant. I don't want to eat now at a restaurant.
If they're at the prom and everyone's kind of sharing food and dancing and together, it's not that unusual. This is the one that we get on cruise ships. It's when people are in a small area and they're all connected and people are eating together.
90 students are sick and fell ill, including Casey Johnson.
There was like 25 people, and half of the people in my prom group are sick. And I had chills, everything. I had everything. I was so dizzy. It was bad.
And then because they got sick, they weren't able to go to Mr. Kelly's afterwards and see George Maharis open for Kreskin. I haven't been to Mr. Kelly's in a while.
The Shedd Aquarium, the care and well-being of our guests is a top priority. Yeah. So the Chicago Health Department and the Cook County Health Department are investigating the catering company that brought the food to the Shedd Aquarium.
Happens. I mean, it does. What can I say? Go to the museum, the Field Museum. Have a meal under Sue the dinosaur. Oh, God.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
I think Sue's gone now.
Oh, she is? And besides, how can you eat under Sue the dinosaur? It's going to make you go anorexic because she's just a bunch of bones. Is Sue gone now? Or is that the Marilyn Monroe statue in front of
remember that thing?
The Tribune Tower with the granny pants? The granny underpants?
Marilyn Monroe would have died if she saw that. I don't wear granny panties.
Yeah. Dan and I once did a remote from under her
dress?
Yes.
See, now that's awesome. We need to do fun things like that.
Remote, and you know who came out to watch us?
Who?
John Cass from Tribune Tower.
Oh, you three perverts.
It was.
Or are you the Three Stooges?
We're standing.
Did you really?
Yeah, right underneath the. I swear, we did a remote from her dress.
Doesn't surprise me, and it's going to be surprisingly warm today.
Yes, it is. Windy and very warm with the sun and some clouds, high of 84. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy and warm, a late-night shower in spots, low of 64. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, becoming windier. I mean, it's going to blow Marilyn Monroe's dress right over her head. It's going to be like the subway grate in the 7-Year Itch. And you know that when they wafted up from the subway grate in the 7-Year Itch? Have you ever stood over a subway grate in New York City? I mean, that is the stinkiest smell in the world. So I don't know how Tom Ewell found that very attractive in that movie, Cha-Cha.
How's the weather?
Well, let's go. I just gave it to you.
Yeah.
Let's go to Jim Telemonte.
How's the traffic?
In the traffic.
Well, Maryland or no Maryland, got a big gapers delay on northbound I-50. Actually, not just gapers, got a crash at Weber Road. 6 cars involved. So northbound 55 is just jammed starting at US 30. When you get past it, you're still looking at an hour and 18 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Eden's fine inbound. Outbound 36 minutes to get to Lake Kennedy. 58 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 42. The Ike, an hour and 16 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound an hour 20. The Ryan is an hour from 95th to downtown. The tollways are heavy, including the southbound Tri-State, with 2 big jams, one from 132 to 176, one from the Adams Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Jim Talamonte and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Have you met the Swamp Brothers? Congressman Todd Rokita and Congressman Luke Messer. You already know their stories. Todd Rokita and Luke Messer are two lawyers who never practiced and became career politicians. What makes them Swamp Brothers? It's their records in Washington. In Congress, Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted to fast-track Obama's bad trade deals which could have cost Indiana thousands of jobs. And Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted for billions in new debt, $500 billion to be exact. But there's more, and it's even worse. Todd and Luke voted to fund abortion provider Planned Parenthood and Obama's executive amnesty. Todd's no conservative. He's a fraud. Luke's no conservative. He's a liberal. Todd the fraud. Luke the liberal. The Swamp Brothers. Wrong for you.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
AM 560, The Answer.
Before we get back to the serious stuff at the bottom of the hour, we're taking your phone calls, 312-642-5600, about these modesty ponchos that they're making girls put over their shoulders, over their dresses at prom if they deem them too salacious. Let's go to Donna, who joins us from the South Side. Good morning, Donna.
First of all, I just want to say that if the mother is feeling that her children are being shamed, then she ought to look at what her daughter is wearing, because I have seen some of these prom dresses, and when you only cover just about your nipple and there's no underwear, I think you shamed yourself, your family, and your school. And with that aside, being a Catholic, we had to check our dresses in 8th grade graduation and for high school, and had to be appropriate. What's the big deal? Secondly, I just want to say a shout out to Bruce. I'm so happy you're on. I really like you. And I, for a long time, thought that you did Svengoolie. So I would switch stations trying to catch you doing Svengoolie. And I
That is a crazy thing, Donna. I was not Svengoolie. I'm not Svengoolie. What are you talking about?
I love you. I think you're funny.
Thank
I don't know why someone else appreciates you the way I do. And
Thank
I think
you,
you're
Donna.
a cutie pie.
May I take you to the prom, Donna? May I take you to the prom?
Just watch what you
Catholic. Go to a prom because nobody from Carmel or Mendel or any of those places ever asked us out.
Oh, we're having so much fun.
Send Donna a poncho.
All right.
Do we have any WIND AM 560 ponchos? Thank you, Donna. You're
Thank
sweet.
You, Donna.
You're very sweet.
It's so sweet. We got a text message.
Watch me on Saturday night. I'm Maria Ospinskaya is starring in the movie that I'm going to be promoting Saturday night.
Here's a text message. Prom brings out the stupid in parents. Girls who dress like hookers shame themselves. Oh, the reason young men aren't being shamed is because they don't attend their prom with their private areas showing like girls do. Oh, I didn't know that this was such
Men should wear ponchos, yes, indeed. It should be equal. If the girl has to wear a poncho, a man should have to wear a poncho.
Gender equality. Let's go to Frank, who joins us from Canaryville. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Amy and Bruce. Great show. I just wanted to comment on the food issue. I went to a certain restaurant in Chicago. I won't name names, but I think I had the Italian beef sauce. I got sick as a dog. I called the manager the next morning. I said, I got sick as a dog off your sandwich. I'm not going to sue you or anything. So the manager says, "Oh, don't worry about it, sir. Come on back for a free sandwich anytime." Really?
Yeah.
That's the Chicago way.
It is. It is.
Yes,
Make
that's
you even
how we do
sicker.
business. All right, thanks, Frank. I hope you're feeling better.
Frank is the mine shaft in the Canaryville area. Yes.
Let's go to Mary, who joins us from no other place than a slice of heaven, Elmwood Park. Good morning, Mary. How are you?
Mary.
Hi. Good morning, Bruce. Good morning, Amy. I have two daughters who attend a Catholic high school, and as part of like what we would call their formation, as young women, we had a really good presentation for the daughters. It was moms and the daughters actually on kind of modest dressing, and it was really interesting how they did it. They showed a picture of one of the Kardashians, I'm not sure which one, with a pair of really tight sweatpants with juicy written across her rear end.
That
And
was
then they
Bruce
showed a
Jenner, I
picture-
believe. But go ahead.
It's
Yeah,
Caitlin.
well,
Yeah.
I wasn't paying that close attention, but anyway, the other picture was of Kate Middleton in, some lovely dress, but modest, and, they asked the girls, now, what's the first thing you notice when you look at this picture of the Kardashian? And the girls have said, oh, her butt, and then they said, well, what's the first thing you notice about Kate Middleton? And they all said her smile and her face, and they said, that's the point of dressing modestly. You want young men to notice you. Not your body, but they want you want young men to love you, for who you are as a human being. So, and I know it's kind of like people like to make fun of the dress codes at Catholic schools, but it's really all about empowering women, to understand their own dignity as women and not to be taken advantage. I mean, here we in the middle of this whole Me Too movement, that anyone would even criticize a Catholic school for wanting to protect girls and their modesty and wanting them to be appreciated for who they are as human beings. So I just thought I would offer that because it was very just helpful to me as a mom. And my daughters really, that really resonated with them. So I'm frankly grateful that the school is trying to help the girls understand what it means to be, a woman who demands self-respect.
Oh, God bless you, Mary.
Thanks for throwing cold water on our little party right here.
Sorry, someone had to do it.
Yeah, okay.
If Dan's not there, someone's got to step up.
There you go.
Okay.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing up the topic. Bye.
Yeah.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Your credit card companies love you. They love it when your cards stay maxed out. They love it when you only make minimum payments. They love it when you struggle. Why? Because they own you. And minimum payments mean maximum profits. Here's great news. National Debt Relief is now offering you free information on how to escape your credit card debt nightmare. If you owe more than $10,000 in credit card debt and are only barely making minimum payments, know this: you may not have to pay it all back. In fact, you may have the right to settle that debt for only a fraction of what you owe. National Debt Relief has helped thousands of people get rid of over $500 million of debt, and they're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Get the information you need for free right now before this offer goes away. Go to ndrnow.com now and escape your credit card debt troubles. Go now to ndrnow.com. That's ndrnow.com.
Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
In my practice, I was getting to the point where I couldn't have the strength to see that many patients anymore. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis. It really affected my breathing and the strength that I had. And I was introduced to the fruits and veggies. Just slowly, my strength started to come back. And it was because of the good nutrition. I can't say enough good for Balance of Nature and what it's done for me. and I recommend it to everybody.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
I'm living alone for the first time in 40 years, and I'm worried something might happen to me.
Live independently with alarm detection systems. We offer medical alert devices with 24/7 emergency assistance monitoring. Setup is easy, and a live professional is waiting to assist you. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. Alarm license number 127000143.
Our neighbor had thousands of dollars in flood damage and lost several items that are irreplaceable. Is there a security solution to receive early warning of an event like this?
Of course. Alarm Detection Systems has flood detection systems alerting you when water gathers in your home, giving you time to react. ADS is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. Alarm license number 127000143.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Bruce.
Yes.
What is coming up?
We
on
have Noah Rothman, associate editor for Commentary Magazine. He knows John Podhoretz personally. So, I mean, this is big time. This is really big time.
And the perfect 5K for all of you beginning, you novice runners, and it's perfect for Dan Proft. We will explain. But first, let's catch up with news from here at home and around the world. Here is the one and only, the best newsman ever, Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, federal prosecutors say this morning they will announce whether they will seek the death penalty for the man accused of killing 5 and wounding 6 others at a Fort Lauderdale airport. In January 2017, 28-year-old Esteban Santiago allegedly began that mass shooting after retrieving a handgun from checked baggage and loading it in the bathroom. President Trump is reacting to a report of more than 40 questions special counsel Robert Mueller is proposing to ask him. Somehow, the New York Times obtained the list of questions which revolve around the possibility the Trump campaign colluded with Russia and whether the president may have obstructed justice. Iranian officials are pushing back after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accused Iran of breaking terms of the 2015 International Nuclear Accord. Netanyahu says Iran has obtained all of the elements of a nuclear weapons program and had operated one in secret. Netanyahu laid out his accusations by offering more than 1,000 documents that were hidden from investigators. Number of people are feared dead after a high-rise apartment building in Brazil collapsed in flames. At least one person is confirmed dead after that tower fell in Sao Paulo this morning. Squatters had been living in that building. A new report says more than 30 Uber drivers have been convicted of sexually assaulting or abusing passengers. CNN reporting at least 103 drivers for the ride-sharing app have been arrested or are wanted by police. In Chicago, a woman recovering after she was viciously attacked by dogs on Chicago's South Side. Police say the attack happened last night near 65th and Evans. Illinois' senior U.S. Senator says the federal government will pay for most of the cost to build a new veterans home in Quincy. Illinois U.S. Senator Dick Durbin says the state must act first. However, if that happens, the federal government may pay for up to 65% of the new home. The Chicago Little League baseball team is facing punishment over allegations they directed racial slurs and verbal abuse toward a Southwest Side team comprised mostly of Latino players. Sun-Times says the Kennedy Park Little League has moved to discipline several players and a coach involved in separate incidents during a game Sunday between Kennedy Park and West Lawn's Southwest Pride team. Cubs beat the Rockies 3-2 in the opener of a 3-game set. White Sox open a 2-game series against the Cardinals at Busch Stadium tonight. 8:32, we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next. on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher loves the hypocrisy of the left.
This bastion of progressivism, Starbucks, where people who sit around for hours upon hours. You're going to tell me two black guys can't sit at a table without being bothered? And I love every bit of the consequences that pretentious, overpriced place is now having to pay.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Risk mitigation is an important consideration that smart companies pay attention to in today's complicated business climate. Some of the greatest risks occur when your company hires new employees or when you execute new business financial relationships. When your company hires, leases, or conducts financial transactions, decisions are critical. That's why veteran-owned and operated Global Verification Network is a company you should know. Startups to Fortune 100s trust Global Verification Network, and so should you. They're a background screening and investigative services company dedicated to expert, timely, and affordable background screening services for employment, tenant screening, and business due diligence. Global Verification Network is headquartered in Chicagoland, a federally recognized veteran-owned small business, and never offshores data like many competitors. To request your company's risk analysis without obligation or cost, visit mygvn.com or call 877-695-1179 or online at mygvn.com. Global Verification Network, the risk mitigation experts, 877-695-1179.
It is 8:34. The news, a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, the very latest with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Southbound 53 is heavy this morning from Rand Road to Kirchhoff. Northbound Veterans Memorial Tollway, it's jammed. I-55 moves to the way to St. Charles, and from the Army Trail Toll to 290. Tri-State southbound delays are 132 to 176. The Adams Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound 115th to 75th. Stevenson to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to the bridge. But Adams Tollway heavy, 25 to 59 and leads to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway jammed, 31 to 355. Eden's 19 minutes, like Cook to the junction, outbound 27. Kennedy, 54 minutes, so O'Hare to downtown. Express lanes take longer. Outbound it's 44 minutes. The Eisenhower, an hour and 15 minutes either way between 390 and downtown. Northbound I-55 still a mess from 30 to Weber, crash to the two left lanes, and it's an hour and 15 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 52 minutes. And the Ryan, running an hour from 95th to downtown. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Windy and warm today. We'll have sun and clouds. We'll top out at 84, but all that warmth and wind will bring with it overnight showers, maybe a thunderstorm. Low 64, and a shower and thunderstorm expected tomorrow as well, high 78. Currently 63 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Build business with Chamber 630, one of the largest business organizations in DuPage County. Marketing your business and connecting clients is their priority. Visit chamber630.com or call 630-968-4050 to join today.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
It's been so long to be where I'm going, in the sunshine of your love. Can I play at your prom?
Wow.
Okay.
Bruce Wolf is in the his ass.
Just gave myself a little stroke right now.
Yesterday, President Trump welcomed the president of Nigeria, and since I am the name assassinator, I'm going to give this a shot.
Okay.
Muhammadu
Sure.
Buhari. And, of course, that was one of the places that President Trump had called a blank hole country. Remember,
Sure.
It was Haiti, it was
Yeah.
Africa. And so a reporter, of course, brought that up, and listen to this response.
To visit President Trump here at the White House. Did you address
his reported comments from earlier this year when he reportedly used vulgar language to describe African nations?
Well, I'm very careful with what the press says about others and myself. I'm not sure about, the validity or whether that allegation against the president was true or not. So the best thing for me is to keep quiet.
The best thing for me
that was diplomatic
is
because
to keep quiet. Good
Trump,
for him.
Well, Trump actually said it, but that's what the other foreign leaders have to say around him. They have to be very, very careful and diplomatic, and Macron has to love him.
Oh, Macron is the Trump whisperer, and it's Macron, by the way, and he is the Trump whisperer.
Well, to comment on these things and many others, let's bring in Noah Rothman, associate editor for Commentary Magazine, prolific author, and among other things. Noah, you know John Podhoretz personally, so it's wonderful talking to you this morning. Thanks for coming on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah. So
me joining you.
Whatever. It's
We're all
symbiotic.
together.
It's wonderful. So it is funny how diplomatic world leaders have to be around what a lot of people would claim is our ugly American president.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. I think that generally you're going to see foreign leaders respect the president of the United States, whoever it is, because they have so much to lose if they lose the affections and the generosity of the American presidency. We are the hyperpower, the superpower. There is nothing even remotely close to us in terms of generosity of charity, foreign aid, military support. We are the indispensable nation. And so even if you have a president who insults you, as he probably did. I mean, Omarosa said he did. The president doesn't really deny it. The people around him don't really deny it. It probably happened. You're going to look past it, even if it causes you a lot of headaches at home, and it certainly does. I mean, there's politics everywhere else, too. And it's not as though these comments played very well in the countries that the president allegedly disparaged.
So this morning we woke up with new news about the Mueller investigation. The special counsel Mueller recently provided President Trump's lawyers a list of questions that he wanted to be answered in an interview. And the New York Times obtained this list. I'm sure you've read through some of the questions. It's, 4 dozen or so questions. If you were President Trump, would you answer any of these?
Some of them, I probably, but not most of them. I think this is probably what President Trump likes to say is his favorite gambit, is that this is the opening bid. We are going for broke. Every single possible item that we can possibly offer is on the table, and now we start the winnowing process. If you were President Trump's attorneys, you wouldn't want him to answer any of these questions.
Right.
Even the implication is that some of these questions, which verge on, just talking about basic presidential powers and authority, suggests that we're criminalizing the process of being the President of the United States and the authority guaranteed to the President of the United States. So, of course, aren't going to let him answer these questions. But we don't know the extent to which Donald Trump wants to listen to his attorney. His lead attorney, John Dowd, resigned specifically by saying that my client will not listen to my advice, and I cannot continue to represent him if he is going to not listen to my advice. And I believe that had everything in there, anything to do with the Mueller probe, specifically the context of an interview. A face-to-face interview. So I think Donald Trump doesn't believe he has anything to hide and is very interested in being as forthright and forthcoming as he possibly can with these investigators, and is possibly being a little naive in that fact, because a lot of these questions are compelling if you were looking at an obstruction investigation or an investigation to collusion. We still don't have the answer to that question, as much as Donald Trump's defenders say that the question has been asked and answered. It really has not. And one of the revelations that we saw last night in this report is that the Mueller probe is specifically asking whether Paul Manafort, Donald Trump's campaign manager, sought political assistance during the campaign from Moscow, and we have no reason to we have no public reporting to suggest why they're asking that question.
Well, there's a lot.
So that leaves us with some very compelling conclusions that we can draw on our own.
Yeah, the problem is there's so much speculation involved. Remember when McClatchy had that report a couple of weeks ago that Carter Page apparently was in Prague, and it was like a Friday night bombshell, and then nothing came of it after that, which leads you to believe that that was a bunch of baloney. So, you wonder about that. And then, you've got Hot Air had a story yesterday. They'd noticed that the Inquirer is starting to diss Michael Cohen, which is interesting because the Inquirer and Donald Trump are in an alliance there, the owner, and why would they start ripping on Michael Cohen unless it's that Trump is trying to distance himself from Cohen, who might flip to some extent on Trump? I know this calls for a lot of speculation, but heck, Mueller opened it up with these questions.
Yeah, and we had some reporting yesterday from ABC News' investigative unit, which said that the Trump campaign had, in fact, reimbursed Michael Cohen to the tune of, I think, a little over $250,000 for the expenses that he incurred in dealing with the Stormy Daniels issue. And that's kind of a tertiary issue for the Mueller probe. The Mueller probe is investigating a lot of different things, and that's not really one of them. But if that suggests, I'm not 100% sure because I'm not a lawyer, but I think that could be construed as a violation of campaign finance law. So that would be a crime. That's a prosecutable crime. And if you have a prosecutable crime, you can certainly leverage it. And if you can leverage that and you can get Donald Trump's personal attorney, self-described, by the way, the president has described Michael Cohen as his personal attorney as recently as last month.
Yes.
Then you can certainly use that information in the context of this investigation to get to something a little bit more related to the Mueller probe. So, yeah, they have a lot of reasons to be worried about Michael Cohen.
Okay. Yeah, the thing is, the Obama administration had federal election violations, too, but nobody made that big a deal out of it. Let's just pivot real quickly here. You had a column or essay a while back in commentary about you mentioned that Britannia ruled the waves, not just so there could be a song about it. They actually, Britain had to take care of the sea lanes, and there is a reason to get involved in international activity. But we have such an isolationist streak. It's manifested, I think, by Tucker Carlson on Fox. He, even when Assad was using chemical weapons on his own people, very much doubted that Assad did it and didn't even countenance any opposing arguments on that until I think you were on with him like the next day or so. But that's the isolationist streak we have in this country. And, now especially when you think, I wonder if Tucker Carlson even believes Netanyahu right now. So that's what we're contending with, is this isolationist streak, which is rearing its ugly head again in America.
And as you say, it's very American. It's very much in our national DNA that we sort of expect these two oceans to protect and preserve us, and leave Europe's and Asia's problems to Europe and Asia. And that's something to be celebrated. I don't think that's anything to be frustrated with. But it is something to contend with because I believe it can be rather harmful, particularly when it comes to compelling us to erect these broad, fantastical ideas that allow us to escape into this idea that we will be preserved and that these foreign conflicts won't touch us, even though we're in the 10th decade, almost the 10th decade, sorry, the 7th year of the Syrian conflict, and it has had demonstrably deleterious effects on global security, on Europe, and on American national security, as we could not stay out of that conflict. The last administration was desperate to stay out of that conflict, and it only metastasized, grew worse, and compelled him to intervene at a time and place not of our choosing, and under strategic circumstances that were not as good as they could have been had we intervened when and where we wanted to. So I don't know whether Mr. Carlson believes what he said before, where he suggested that the chemical weapons attack had never occurred. I think he's a patriotic gentleman and will be very frustrated by the fact that Russian and Iranian propaganda outlets used those comments to advance their political narratives. I don't think he wants to advance the interests of our enemies, but that is nevertheless the fact. That is what happened.
You're very diplomatic. So if I can, we just have a little time left, and this is Rorschach test that we're giving everybody today. Did you view Michelle Wolf's attacks on Sarah Huckabee Sanders as insults to her physical appearance? Because it seems like there's people like Maggie Haberman, and we had Zelena Zito on before, who believe, and I believe, that they were insults about her physical appearance. And then there are others who are trying to innocently construe this as just being arguments against her political position. And if we can't even agree on what she said, how are we going to bring the two sides together?
I think liberals and Democrats who are invested in sort of keeping Michelle Wolf from being attacked for her comedy performance are being very obtuse. She was obviously attacking the physical appearance of the press secretary, but guess what? I don't care. It was a roast. It was a roast format. That is what happens when you get on stage, when you are on the dais with a roaster. You're going to get roasted, and everything is on the table. This is art, and I refuse to judge art by the standards by which I would judge a politician. I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's honest. And I think everybody engaging in the politics here is being a little disingenuous.
All right, but here's the thing.
You know what? I never looked at it that way.
Oh, but here, isn't there disparate treatment, though? Because it's a roast of Republicans all the time, with the exception of the Don Imus routine with the Clintons a number of years ago. It basically, boils down to when during the Obama years, they'd make jokes, as Kyle Smith said in National Review, about Fox News. When it's Trump who's not going to buy into this, he won't allow this. But George Bush sat and took it. So it's basically like a Colbert or Jimmy Kimmel show right there, and you never get the other side being roasted like that and their physical appearance being disparaged.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There is a double standard because this is a room full of liberals, and it's bad for the Washington press corps to be engaged in this and the commodification of journalism and the celebrity that became of this event during the Obama years. It's corrupting and it's dishonest, and I think it should be abandoned. I've said that for years now. My position has not changed. But I find the attacks on Michelle Wolf to be, this is not the problem here. The performer is not the problem. The audience is the problem.
Exactly.
The event is the problem.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Noah. Appreciate
Noah
it.
Rothman, associate editor for Commentary Magazine. Glad to have you back on.
My problem. My pleasure. Thank you.
That was your problem. It's a Freudian slip.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's that kind of day.
It's you liberals,
my
you neocons.
problems and my pleasure. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up, cats speak Mandarin. We'll explain, but first, here's your forecast.
He called us a problem. That's what he meant. I thought it was a pretty good interview. Okay. Today, windy and very warm with sun and some clouds, high of 84. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy, and warm. A late-night shower in spots, low of 64. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and becoming windier with a shower or thunderstorm. High of 78, low tomorrow, 65. Now it's time for a check of traffic with our problem child, Jim Telemonte.
Thank you. My pleasure. Good morning, Bruce and Amy. Northbound I-55 jammed. US 30 to Weber with a 6-car crash and a tow truck. 2 left lanes are still blocked. You get past it, it's still an hour and 8 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 45 minutes. Eden's fine inbound. Outbound 10 minutes worth of delays between Montrose and Skokie Road. Kennedy 54 minutes. O'Hare to downtown still a bit heavier in the express. Highs an hour and 12 minutes. 390 to downtown. Outbound an hour and 9 minutes. Got a crash at Wooddale Road. The Ryan 55 minutes. 95th to downtown. Southbound Tri-State slow 132 to 176. The Adams Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound Southwest Highway to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to the bridge. Northbound Veterans Memorial still very heavy. I-55 most of the way to St. Charles and from the Army Trail Toll to 290. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Supporting veterans is our passion. That's why we support Veteran Roasters, a Chicago coffee roaster that hires homeless and chronically unemployed veterans. If you'd like to help create jobs for homeless veterans, visit veteranroasters.com and purchase a 12-ounce bag of coffee roasted and ground by once homeless and unemployed veterans. The coffee's delicious, and the profits are reinvested in hiring additional homeless veterans. Use promo code Team Hochberg to save 50% off the second bag you purchase. If you're a veteran securing a VA loan and would like to work with a local lender who supports veterans, call Team Hochberg now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage and Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
I look at Balance of Nature and I look what it's doing for me as I've started taking it, and for the patients that I have that are taking it, and it's been phenomenal. watching the changes that have happened and how much healthier and how much more energy that they have. I haven't heard any negative feedback from any of my patients who have been taking the product. And the thing that amazes me with it is that it's so simple.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Tom Goleb, Chief Financial Officer of Navitas Systems, a leader in the next generation of advanced battery technology and a customer of Signature Bank. A few years ago, I heard Signature Bank on an AM 560 radio ad just as our previous commercial bank was being acquired. I knew Mick O'Rourke and Kevin Bastuga from a prior enterprise. I valued my relationship with them and the way they worked earned my trust and my business. So I decided to give Signature Bank a call. They took the time to understand our early stage technology company that has its own set of challenges. Signature Bank took care of us, and now we are satisfied customers.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you have pain, listen up, Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at thehomeloanexpert.com. Ryan, one of the things I like about you, you're a hustler, you're a go-getter. Is it really true that you and your team will drive anywhere in Chicagoland so that your clients don't have to sit in the notorious Chicagoland traffic?
Oh, you better believe it. A mortgage is just too big of an investment, too big of a product to be done on an app or maybe through email only. And I feel that it's very important to at least get together with our clients for the application process. Meaning, if you're looking to refinance or buy a home, give us a call, 773-770-4727. That's 770-4727. Or you can always apply online at thehomeloanexpert.com. We'll gather some information. I will work you up your options, call you back. We'll review your options, compare where you are, and compare the new loan. If you say, hey, this is a great fit in what it's looking for, I'll come out and I'll meet you at your home or office. No one does that. Customer service, no one can match. Thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
AM 560.
The Answer. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, and I don't know when. We'll get together then.
Yeah.
You know we'll have a good time then.
You can play this song right through Gallagher. It's that long. Right. Oh, my God.
It's the
Is this song ever ending?
Well, I love my cats. Meow, meow. You have cats, don't you?
We have one cat, Dexter.
Dexter. What kind of cat is Dexter?
I don't. It's the most affectionate cat you ever met in your life.
Well, is it a calico? Is it a gray tabby, orange
it's
tabby,
gray,
multicolored?
It's gray. I don't know what it is, but it drapes itself on my wife, who can groom it, do anything, and then he takes his paw and rubs it on your face.
So cute. Oh, well, then you're going to love this story.
Right.
So there's a 29-year-old woman who is moving from Jersey City to China, as Trump calls it.
Sure.
China. And while she was about to board her flight, her pet carrier, she has a cat, obviously, pet carrier tipped over, and her cat jumped onto the check-in counter and then leapt above the counter, and it disappeared for 4 days, and people are trying to find it. She waited. She didn't get on that flight. She was trying to get her cat back. Couldn't find him, so left. The cat's name is Pepper. So left, and her, for days they would see it up in the, in the ductwork, and they try to catch it. They couldn't get it. They put out cans of tuna to try to get the cat. They put out, humane traps to try and get the cat.
Hope that it doesn't board a plane, because you know what happens to dogs on planes.
Well, so guess what happened? One of her friends was at a pet shop, and they said, you know what? Only somebody who knows the cat is going to get the cat back. And the cat's name is not Pepper. In Mandarin, the cat's name is Dao Mang.
Oh, okay. Well, I enjoy that so much. I usually order it a little spicy. I didn't know that I was eating cat, though.
The cat owner's friend went to the airport and was going, Dao Mang, and the cat came.
Really?
Because the cat speaks Mandarin. The cat doesn't speak English.
The cat speaks Mandarin.
Yes.
Sure.
That's how that works.
Oh, that's a delicious story. That's wonderful. Wonderful. So
the pigeon population in the terminals declined while the cat was there. That's what Port Authority said. Isn't that great?
That's terrific. So the cat was useful there.
Exactly.
Very, very nice. So nobody wound up eating the cat, because
No.
it does sound like a delicacy.
It does. Dao Mang is fine.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for being here,
Thank
Bruce.
you. Enjoyed it so much.
Now into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
A woman attacked by two dogs on the south side. WIND